Are you searching for a deeper understanding of your faith?
Inspiring Philosophy is your go-to resource for exploring the rich tapestry of Christian thought.
From biblical archaeology to philosophy of mind, we dive into the topics that matter.
Our content bridges faith and understanding, offering insights into God's existence and the reliability of the New Testament.
Join a community where faith meets reason and discover the answers you've been seeking.
Inspiring Philosophy, where faith meets understanding.
I'm sorry, Master, but I must go all out. Just this once. I don't like you, Muhammad. Dawa boys, you've left me no choice. Bible's been corrupted, that should go the line. But you claim the same book, prophesize your sign, twisting every scripture, faking all the quotes, hiding all the facts, trying to keep your boat afloat. Without lies, Islam dies. Perfect preservation, yeah, that myth got wrecked. Worldly Quran don't even match the text. Used to flex science, now you back in the way. Cause camel embryo facts don't hit the same today. Got the Islamic dilemma, you can't solve that. Every answer you give makes the problem snap back. Say the Bible's corrupt, but your own book cries. Bibles are Allah's words, they can't be revised. If Allah's words can't change, then your claims are fraud. You just argued yourself against the word of your God. Injil's secret book, that's your mystery prize. But the Quran said Christians should judge by it. Lies, then your crew pulled muted like it's just a game. Ruined a life and trashed a man's name. All that Dawa talk, but when truth appears, you vanish from the chat like it hurt your ears. Without lies, Islam dies. Can't hide truth, can't spin those lies. Without lies, Islam dies. Dawa cries when the facts arise. Without lies, Islam dies. Can't hide truth, can't spin those lies. Without lies, Islam dies. Dawa cries when the facts arise. We follow Jesus better, sure in your dream. While cutting out his claims like you're cropping a meme. Crown off his head, toss his cross in the bench. The smile for the camera like you're still his kin. Jesus was a Muslim, cute little twist. Redefine the word so the facts don't exist. If labels could change what the records prove. If Pharaoh was a Yahweh fan, then Judas stayed true. Muhammad in the Song of Solomon, boy, you made your prophet a fruit. Snuggled up with Solomon and came the man of Ozu. Without lies, Islam dies. Can't hide truth, can't spin those lies. Without lies, Islam dies. Dawa cries when the facts arise. You preach perfect text, but the proof ain't there. Half's wash, even your readers don't care. Call the Bible corrupt, but still quote it loud. Trying to find Muhammad just to please your crowd. Song of Solomon, yeah, that's your flesh effect. You just wrote your prophet in the Solomon's bed. Then the man of Val's came riding through all night long, and you say that's true. Jesus was a Muslim, the word plays dead. By that logic, Pharaoh bowed his head. You twist, you spin, but you can't disguise that every Dawa claim was built on lies. Without lies, without lies, without lies, without
What's up, everybody? I'm here with the Slayers of Dawa, the terror of Mohammed Hijab himself. It has been funny thing is, David, you had said 2025 was the worst year for Dawa, but it's going to be worse in 2026. And I said to myself, okay. How? Exactly. Yeah. 2025 was a bad year, but surely 2026 will just it'll be a bad year. But maybe we kind of peaked and we'll just kind of like stay. No, this has been a worse year than 2025, and we're only in April. Only in April. We've got Sheikh Uthman on the run. We got Mohammed Hijab on the run. Muslim Lantern's still hiding somewhere. Like this is bad. Oh my goodness. I don't know if you saw, but Mohammed Hijab had his stream. He ran from me. Like he took off so fast. It was embarrassing. I don't know if you've seen that yet, but I'm going to show you that.
Who are you talking to? Me?
You.
Oh,
No, I haven't seen it. I saw one clip posted by Fearless Truth, which is, I guess that's what we're going to be talking about at least somewhat.
Mhm.
But because in a previous live stream, I said it's the argument that he's using with the concept of identity that he's using and applying to the Trinity would mean like you have to have multiple Qurans. You have to. They can no longer say that there's only one Quran. He's just destroyed that claim. And I was like, someone must have pointed that out. And it turns out, yeah, other people have pointed it out. But then someone, apparently someone brought it up in Hijab's live stream. And based on the little clip I saw, it sounds like he's saying the different ahruf are different parts. The different versions of the Quran are just parts of the Quran, which means that a Muslim who says, hey, I just memorized the entire Quran. No, you've memorized part of the Quran because what you have is only part of the Quran.
Yep.
That's pretty wild. But anyway, that's the only thing I've seen from this discussion.
Well, I was up. So I went live when Hijab went live, and I was pulling in more viewers than he was, just people waiting for me to go up, which was bothering him. That was bothering him. So before we get to Bought by Blood right here, who completely destroyed Mohammed Hijab and got him to basically admit the perfect preservation argument is gone. There are multiple Qurans that all have different variations. Like, I've learned something, John, you down in there in the corner. One day, Mohammed Hijab can debate me after he deals with you. When he's on, if he's got to get over your level first before he can jump up to my level, because he just doesn't have the subscriber count to get up to where I'm at this point. He's got to deal with you first, and then he doesn't have to my level.
Not just the subscriber count, but the IQ count.
Exactly.
Well, that's not fair because, I mean, in theory, he could reach some definable subscriber count. He'll never, ever be able to reach the correct IQ number. Like, it's just impossible. That's not under his control.
That's fair. So David, this is what happened on Tuesday. I went live at the exact same time they went live, and I'm just waiting in the queue. Like, I'm showing them, like I'm in their StreamYard. I'm just waiting. Okay. About 27 minutes in, Dean Responds pops up. Okay. This wasn't planned. He was not announced he's going to be on the stream. He just showed up, and he notes where he's calling in from. It's 5 a.m. there.
My camera on right now. Just it's 5 a.m.
He's in the shower.
It's finished. It's pretty dark.
This approach of audio only is. Come on, we'll wait for you. Put your camera on, inshallah. How are you doing anyway, bro?
So they called him, woke him up, and told him to get in there. He's not even ready. He doesn't have his camera even ready. And then they said this. Now, this was kind of weird.
Maybe just give it 5 minutes.
5 minutes. Okay, no worries. Nobody talk to him. He'll talk to him. Okay, while you get your camera.
No, we'll talk to him. He'll talk to him. Now, I can't verify, but I'm pretty sure they're talking about me. They called Dean to talk to me because Mohammed Hijab didn't want to talk to me. So again, they bring up someone else while Dean gets ready, gets out of the shower, gets his hair dried, get all that stuff. And then this is what happened when they called me up, David. They bring Dean back on. Here's what happened.
As you shine the opponent for this brother.
And let me go back a little bit so you can hear. We're gonna find an opponent for you, brother.
So
yeah, sounds good.
Choose an opponent for him. Dean's gonna have a little debate now. You're gonna choose a Zishan opponent for this brother, and we'll come off completely.
All right.
What's up, guys? How you doing? Oh, wait, where'd Hijab go?
Hey, IP, how you doing, man?
I thought I was coming to talk to the champ. He just took off. He's hiding behind.
Wait, Mike. I really want to make sure David sees something. Did you notice, David, how it wasn't just that the camera turned off or whatever for Hijab? He actually slid out before the camera.
Where did he go?
Went away.
Hey, here
you can kind of see him right there.
Hey, here's Hijab. So IP announced that you're coming on my show.
Wait, I'm coming on David's show. Yes. Yeah, I'm going to come on and debate him directly, and I'm going to talk to him. I got a lot of questions for him. I'd like to ask him. Wait, David, where are you going? I want to talk to you. What's wrong? What are you afraid of, David? I don't get it. Why are you moving? Why is your body language making you look like you're afraid when you're clearly not afraid to face me because you're the king of Dawa over there? I don't get it.
I'm sorry, David Wood is no longer here. He is in a coma in the hospital or something, but he's gone. You cannot see him. There's nothing to see here.
So I wonder if this is like the point of view, right? You know, where it talks about like being able to see only Allah's shin. I think that's what's happening there with Mohammed Hijab. So we have like the same perception here that would have been equal to when Allah's shin was seen. So all I can see, I don't know about the rest. There's nothing like Mohammed Hijab, honestly, but that's not in the good sense. But yeah, there's something that looks like a shin, right?
Yeah. So they literally just like, he jumped off screen and I'm just supposed to talk to Dean. And Dean is trying to make every excuse in the world. It is not working. Knowledgeable. You're the best debater. You are better than Mohammed Hijab. Is that what you're telling
between me
here?
and you, there's.
So he don't want to talk to me. He wants to run, is what you're saying.
No, I think you're just not at his level yet.
What do you mean, nah? What do you mean, nah? Yeah. Indisputably.
Nah.
No,
he had to. You saw the pause though. He had to think about it.
He did.
He was like, well, I mean, he did call me and wake me up, and I haven't even showered yet. I smell like a camel.
Yeah, camel.
So he thought about it. He's like, yeah, I know why I'm here, but I can't say that about my dad. I can't say that about my daddy.
No, well, now Dean's his dad because Mohammed Hijab's hiding behind him. But yeah, it's that he kept trying, but this was hilarious.
And here,
500.
But
I just wanted to say, like, I mean, there are situations where, like, I would have zero problem with, like, just pulling someone if someone brings up a topic, like suppose I were debating an atheist and he brings up some issue from physics or something like that, and I'm completely out of my depth, and I say, but you know what, I have a friend who's a physicist, so let me bring him on because you'd be able to have a much better conversation with him. That I think would be totally acceptable. But like with hijab, it's like, okay, they bring up Avery brings up the Islamic dilemma. Hijab gets crushed. Then they're talking about the Trinity, and hijab runs on that. He's like, get this other guy up here. And then if he's going to run on the Quran, like the most basic topics of Dawa, and he's going to run on those, and he's going to bring in these guys who are like, what, 20, 22 years old or something like that. And he's the champ, and he's like, he doesn't feel adequate anymore to actually respond in debate. Dude, why are you hosting the show then? I mean, it seems like it must be agreed behind the scenes. Guys, I know after all the scandals and everything else, I'm fading out, the lawsuit, all that stuff. I know I'm just getting embarrassed. I have nothing to offer anymore, except the fact that I still have a bunch of subscribers. So let me help some of you guys. Because I'm on my way out. That's the only way this makes sense right here. Because he keeps looking like the total coward.
It's worse than he didn't even let me ask a question. It wasn't like I asked a question. He's like, well, I'm not an expert. Let me bring in Dean Responds to deal with you. Like,
yeah,
he didn't even
he saw inspiring philosophy and said, I'm out of here. I'm gone. I don't care what the topic is. I'm out of here. Get someone else on. So if he gets embarrassed, then at least it won't be me.
Exactly.
500K subs to reach his subs.
Oh, okay. So those other guys he was talking to, they have that many subs?
Oh, I'm not sure.
Look at the smile leave his face, bro.
And guys, just look over in the corner. The Orthodox Muslim Dean looking cute. Okay, bro. What in the zoot is going on over there, man? In Dawa. What in the zoot is going on?
All that does is just show Libiano as a lying hypocrite. That's all it does.
Yes.
Yo, but by the way, this is a Zakir Naik move. This is a Zakir Naik move, right?
Yeah.
Back when I was getting started, Zakir Naik had the reputation of this like champion debater. And one day I went on eBay and I bought, this is like 20 years ago. I went on a little over 20 years ago. I went on eBay and bought the Zakir Naik debate collection. I thought I was going to get this big collection of debates. And it was all these DVDs, and I got it. And there were two debates, and the rest was just like him speaking in an audience with Q&A and stuff like that. I'm like, well, where are all his debates? Only two debates. And one was against some pastor that no one had ever heard of. And the other is William Campbell, who's very intelligent, but he's not a debater. He's like a writer. And so anyway, I was like, where's the other debates? But anytime, because all of the Christian apologists over the next 2 decades challenged him to debate, he backed down from every one of them. And he would say something like, you have to guarantee that you're going to bring 10,000 people to the debate with you, or he would change it, I don't know, 20,000 or 100,000, whatever. You'd have to agree. You would have to be able to guarantee that you're bringing 100,000, 10,000 people to the debate with you, which I don't even know how you actually guarantee. Like, what if people are getting sick or something like that? Anyway, you have to do that. But the obvious question that arose was, well, did any of these two guys that you've actually debated, did they bring? Because I didn't see. It looked like a room full of like 100 people. So what happened?
Yep.
Why didn't you have that rule with those guys? But suddenly, when an actual debater challenges you, this rule comes into effect. But yeah, so yeah, you have to have this number of subscribers. Okay, what about these other guys? And that's when it comes out. We're just making this up as we go along to hide.
Yeah.
Bunch of cowards.
Here's the problem with Dean, though, David. He accidentally said the quiet part out loud. I was going back and forth with him for like 6 minutes at this point, just waiting for a job. I even said, Dean, I will have a conversation with you as long as a job comes back on, gives me a verbal confirmation he'll have a conversation with me. We waited. Didn't happen. He would not come back on the screen with me. He did not even want to face me. But then Dean said the quiet part out loud.
Minutes, then you're just running. You just feel like you can catch Hijab off guard, but you know you can't catch me off guard. That's why.
You hear that?
You feel like
Hijab was worried, ladies and gentlemen, he was going to get caught off guard. You heard it. That was the issue right there. He saw me, got scared, ran away. He's like, nope, can't do this. He's going to catch me off guard. He knows way too much. I can't deal with that. Quick, wake that guy up in Australia. Get him to come in here and deal with it. That way, if he gets him, it's not me. Dean was the sacrificial lamb, apparently.
By the way, this is how Hijab is in other areas. After the October 7th attack, he started challenging the IDF to bring forth their champion to fight him in an MMA match. Well, this guy who's like almost 60 years old, but he was a professional MMA fighter for decades, and he still trains people in jiu-jitsu in Israel, says, I'll do it. I'll do it. Right. And he's like half Hijab's size. He's twice his age and stuff like that. And then they start trying to arrange things. But Hijab's camp is sending him, okay, you have to agree you're not going to use any ankle locks because, you know, you're really good at those. And Hijab doesn't know how to defend against those. And so they're sending him all these rules. Again, Hijab is twice this guy's size. Hijab has at least 100 pounds of muscle advantage on this guy who's twice his age. And they're like, well, you can't use this move, and you have to agree you're not going to move this. And finally, the guy's like, okay, call me again when you guys are serious. This is not an actual fight. And then Hijab's camp goes, you see, he ran. He's terrified of Mohammed Hijab. Oh my goodness, man! But apparently that's how he is, whether it's intellectual or physical. He doesn't want to get caught off guard and wants to make rules about that or just run.
He's doing a call-in show where he's like, make sure no one catches me off guard when they call in. I don't want to be caught off guard on a call-in show. Like, what are you doing, bro? That's what a call-in show is for, man. If you're confident in your 6 degrees, you should be fine. But no, he saw me. He took one look at me, and he's like, get on the phone. Get Dean Responds awake. He's our sacrificial lamb. He'll get caught off guard and not me. I wasn't having it. I didn't let them get away with that, and it just looked pathetic. And since then, people have been sending me screenshots of comments under some of his videos going, why did you run from IP?
To be fair, maybe all 6 of his degrees are in running. Maybe he's got a PhD in running.
Maybe.
2 master's degrees in running.
I mean, I personally have never seen the degrees. I haven't physically seen them. So it could be the case that they're in the exact same place that, you know, the Uthmanic Codex is. So
yeah. He's got a Bachelor of Arts in dodging. He's got a Bachelor of Science in dipping, Master of Arts in diving, and another master's degree, MPhil in, you know, you just go down the list, man, of all the stuff. Dodge, dip, duck, dive, and dodge.
Pretty much at this point. That was crazy. I couldn't believe he ran so fast. He must have PTSD from what Avery did to him. That's all I can assume. So, but after John got to go in there and talk with him, and we were going to cover that today because he wasn't even prepared for you, John. That was pathetic. He
gave John bullets.
I'm ready whenever y'all are.
John was pointing.
Before
at
we
him,
start
basically.
it, I think we should answer the question.
I think there's a delay with you. I don't know.
Uh-oh.
Oh wait, I don't know. Anyway, before we get started, before we jump into that, anyway, I want to do these first couple super chats because they're piling up, and then we'll go to you, John. You can say what you wanted to say there, and we'll go back to Than. Update on a potential new general confirmation dilemma. I'm reading a book that will be a great help in development. Hopefully, more soon. All right, thank you. Thanks for letting us know. Defending a line and the Islamic dilemma / Talmudic dilemma have tons of 100% verified dynamite on the way in 2016. Yeah, he's got some good stuff about the Quran using the Talmud and assuming it's scripture.
Oh yeah, he's gonna be on with me tomorrow.
Nice.
Gonna have defending a line on there to talk about some of this.
Sharing my happy birthday coins. Thank you so much, Jab. Than, I got 90 percentile in attentiveness in my diagnosis. She says that was the highest her scale goes up to. Are you inattentive or hyperactive?
I was in the 99th percentile for hyperactive and like high 80s.
I can't hear
attentive.
Oh, that's the reason.
Back. Oh, that's the reason. So go back out, come back in, John. It sounds like you're just having an audio issue.
Man, StreamYard is being so annoying.
It is, and it's not just it's everyone. It's everyone who uses StreamYard.
Yeah, I might have to find something new if this keeps up. I'm not dealing with this crap, especially if we're doing call-in shows. So just go back out, John. Come back in, and we'll just keep reading super chats until you do that. For Dr. Wood, I asked about the hadith meaning yesterday. I was thinking about the Muslim historical method. What exactly does that look like, and why is it so bad? If it's too long to explain, is there any videos or books?
Now the echo's back. Uh-oh.
Yeah, your echo's back, John. So fix your audio and then try it again. I'm going to mute you.
Hey, no, it went away.
Wait, no, it's only for you now, David, instead of just Mike.
But
wait, no, it's me.
See, I don't know, John. Joe, go back out, come back in. I don't know what's going on with you.
StreamYard is weird, man. But now it's not with me. It went with. Hey, hang on. Go ahead and talk, then.
Check.
Yeah, it went away, right?
Yeah, I don't know. Say something, John. All right, it's
say something.
Wait, I don't think
John,
you can hear
say
me now,
something.
IP.
I don't think he can hear any of us.
John, do you hear any of us right now?
John!
This is the man that destroyed Mohammed Hijab, guys, by the way.
Yes,
doesn't even know how to work
Hijab.
a laptop. That is the level of IQ you need to take down the king of Dawa.
And you don't even need to be able to hear anyone to destroy Mohammed Hijab, apparently.
Check.
All right. Say something.
Can
we
you
hear
John?
you, but you can't hear us.
Oh my goodness. Okay. We're going to read these while he figures his life out. All right. So anyway, go ahead,
I'm going
David.
to kick him and then just tell him to come back in.
That's fine.
Oh, never mind. He left by himself.
Anyway, hadith method, David.
You got scared. What?
Hadith method.
You're talking about the Muslim historical method. You said, what exactly does that look like, and why is it so bad? If it's too long, okay, I give you in a rundown. It's stupid and circular and massively screwed up, and Muslims don't know how bad it is. But basically, in short, they passed on stories primarily via oral tradition, right? You'd pass it on. You pass on the stories. Well, over time, Muslims in different areas, and let me back up a little bit. As Islam spread a little bit, it ended up kind of regional, right? Like you had one sort of version of Islam over here, and another version of Islam over here, another version of Islam over here, and they had similarities, like they believed in praying and these kinds of things, but they had differences, like some practiced mutta, some didn't practice mutta. They had all kinds of differences, like legal differences and so on, that were regional. Well, eventually they want this like pan-Islam, everyone's on the same page, there's one Islam. And so what happened is all these people who had their regional variants, they start just making up stories about how this all gets traced back to someone important. Well, then they get in kind of an arms race of going further and further back, right? So first they're tracing it back to someone in the first century and stuff like this. Then they have to trace it back to a companion to get it from Muhammad and so on. So they're all making up stories about how their version is authentic and goes back to Muhammad, but they're just making this up. And at this point, how do you know who's making it up and who's telling the truth? The hadith guys, Bukhari and so on, eventually come up with a methodology. And the methodology is, if IP here is telling a story, I want to know where he got it from. And then he has to be able to tell me who that guy got it from. And then he has to tell me who that guy got it from, who that guy got it from, and so on, all the way back to a companion of Muhammad. And then so they come up with this method of verifying. And the method is, well, if you know everyone in that chain of transmission is trustworthy and reliable, then you know you've got good stuff, as long as the story doesn't contradict basic Islamic teachings and so on, which you've already decided at this point. So here's the stupidity. How do you know that this guy, let's say 5 steps back, 5 steps removed, how do you know you can trust him?
Good question.
You can't. You have to be circular, right? Because in order to know that you can trust him, you'd have to have reliable historical information about him, and that's what you're trying to come up with, a method of getting reliable historical information. That's why it's circular. You have to assume all these guys are reliable, or you have to just drop the principle. Because think, how would you know that this guy 5 generations back is trustworthy? This guy wouldn't lie. Well, you'd have to say, well, people said it. Okay, how do you know you can trust what they say? According to your method, you have to trace everything back via step. Okay, how do you know that that everyone in that chain is reliable? Oh, we've got this other chain for. That's the point. You can never get off the ground if you take this seriously. So it's a stupid, messed up method. But the fundamental issue is the idea that you can make up a story but not make up this list of names is just beyond idiotic, right? If I can make up a story, about Muhammad, and you say, but how do I know that story is authentic? Oh, I got this list of names. Oh, there's no way you can make up that list of names. Yeah. If you're making up a story, you could definitely 100% make up a list of names. And anyway, but so you have issues like that, and this is why, and they don't apply. Let me put it this way. They don't apply normal historical principles. And in fact, the way non-Muslims examine hadiths, like non-Muslim historians and academics, the way they examine hadiths is pretty much the exact opposite of what Muslims do. And when I say the opposite, I mean like the actually opposite. So a Muslim scholar is looking for this perfect chain of names. So-and-so who's completely reliable, got it from so-and-so who's completely reliable, who got it from so-and-so who's completely reliable. Problem is, this methodology wasn't invented until 1.5 to 2 centuries after Islam. So how is everyone doing this perfect hadith methodology using a method that hadn't been invented yet all along, right? In other words, the people from the time of Muhammad all the way till the method was invented were somehow all using this method. So here's the point. A Muslim scholar is looking for this perfect list of names and completely reliable people. The non-Muslim scholars look at that and they say, that is obviously fake. Obviously fake. There's no way you'd get this perfect list of names from a bunch of people who didn't know the methodology yet because it hadn't been invented yet, right? So non-Muslim scholars look at like broken chains, like I got it from, this guy over here and who got it from someone in the 1st century. They look at that and say, that's actually probably more reliable because these guys aren't like making something up to conform to the new methodology.
Criterion of embarrassment.
And on stories, a Muslim looks at the story and says, does this line up perfectly with Islamic theology that developed over a couple of centuries? Does it line up perfectly with the finalized Islamic theology? Muslim scholar says, yes, it lines up perfectly with Islamic theology. No differences. So this must be good as gold. Whereas the non-Muslim looks at it and goes, wait, you guys were developing this theology over time. And all of a sudden, like once you've established all your theological views and stuff, this one lines up perfect. Obviously fake, obviously, right? And when they find something that doesn't fit in with that, they say it's probably more reliable because they're not trying to conform the story to the fully developed theology and so on. So they do the exact same method. But Sheikh Yasser Qadhi, he exposed it all last year when he said there's not a single academic who takes our method seriously. He goes, not one. There's not one person. And he says when he's in a mosque, he has to put on his Sheikh Yasser Qadhi hat. He says when he's among academics, he can't do that. He can't just quote Bukhari or something like that and think people are going to take him seriously because they wouldn't.
Yeah, I simply, whenever I have a conversation with a Muslim about this, I'll ask one question. Can bad people record good history? Yes or no? Yes or no? Can bad people record good history? Obviously, you look at anything in antiquity, you look at anything that we have historically, obviously, the answer is yes. We can say, yes, a bad person who did bad things, right? Whether it is Hitler or whatever, bad people can record good history to where we can take their information reliably in a historical sense. And so, yeah, it's like when I play a game with my daughter. It's like, hey, you want to play a game? Yeah, I want to play a game. How do you play the game? And then I do something in the game that is different than what she thought I was going to do. And so she makes up like a new rule. She's like, well, if you're going to play the game, you can't do that. Well, why can't I do that? You didn't say I couldn't do that before. Well, you can't do that because that ruins my game.
Yep.
Welcome to Hadith science.
Yep. I seen a clip. Does Mohammed Hijab accept or deny relative identity? We'll get into that. We'll get into that. Trust me. His name is D's Responds. Get it right. Reminder, this is the guy who lied to protect Hijab through his hotel wife scandal. Yeah, that was a disaster. So he's part of the Mohammed Hijab mafia, I guess. Just does whatever he wants. The mafia.
By the way, this is his reward. By the way, this is his reward. They know if they are unquestioningly loyal to Mohammed Hijab and they help him cover up his scandals and they defend him anyway, even though he's turning Muslim women into like prostitutes. That's the goal. Just be in the hotel for sex. Other than that, I want nothing to do with you. And then this guy defends them even as they're all lying, and they know they're lying and they do it anyway, but they know, okay, all I have to do is mindlessly agree with Hijab and attack this Muslim woman that he put through all this, lie about her, lie for him, and he'll help my career. And that's how Dawa works. And that's why it's like, these guys are absolutely evil scumbags.
Dean is actually so feminine for this. Also, Win John, much love, bro. IP's Dawa, too powerful for Hijab. Also, David Wood, did you ever get a chance to view that Islamic morality paper I sent?
No, I haven't viewed anything that anyone has sent me recently. I've been too busy all day, every day.
Orthoduck Dean looking cute. Yes, very cute. Yes. Dean looks like Cartman with a beard. That's rude, man. That's rude. This is from my nightmares right here. Mohammed Hijab ran a whole marathon.
Send me that picture, please.
No, do not send that photo. You let that photo go straight into the bin of history.
Mike and Mohammed had a child, and that's what it looks like.
What is David? What are these weird super chats I keep getting about my extended nose zooting David Wood? What on earth is going on?
I don't know. I'd block that dude. He keeps just saying it over and over again. It makes no sense.
Maybe he's autistic. Guy, just like other Dawa guys, IP is challenged. They got health problems like a toothache. Hijab got a case of D's nuts. I'm mature, I promise. Sure you are, buddy. All right, you guys ready to dive into this thing? It's quite interesting. So let me put this up here. So go on. What did you want to say?
Yeah. So really quick, I just wanted to share how we got here. Okay, I wanna look in the camera as I say this. So I have only been. Oh, you don't have to look at me. That'll make me feel weird. But
no. Let John have his Giga Chad moment here. He doesn't.
Yeah. So I want to look at the camera when I say this. I have only been arguing against Muslims actively since January. Well, why January? This is it. I don't have not even a fraction of the knowledge of Mike or of David Wood. Not even a fraction. All right. I've only been doing this since January. Now let's just ask the question why. Why did I start making polemics? It is Libiano's fault. What is about to happen to his daddy in this video, the reason I requested, the reason I started making active arguments against Islam is Libiano's fault. So for every brother that I break and bury, and specifically, give them doubts and shubahat, that is your fault, Libiano. Here's why, because I challenged him to debate me back in September. Instead, he wanted to humiliate me, and you can go to my TikTok. So Bought by Blood 316 on TikTok. You can go to the video called He Ran. What is in that video is where I went on 2 separate live streams with him and challenged him to formally debate me on a neutral platform. The first time he said, hey, I'm not going to debate you because you're a nobody, right? You're a nobody. So I actually called Than and I'm like, hey, Than, I know you're connected to Inspiring Philosophy. You want to do a 2v2 because he wants me to bring some notoriety to the game. All right. Because he's like this up and coming Muslim. And Than agrees.
It's one of my favorite stories, man.
Yeah, Than agrees. And so I go back to him and I say, hey, all right, how about a 2v2? You want a notoriety? IP, Than, and me versus you and a Muslim of your choice. His exact words to me, again, you'll see it all in the video on my TikTok. His exact words to me were, well, I'll debate IP with someone else, just not you. You're nothing. All right. He said, you want to debate me? You have to pay me $2,000. All right. Third time I attack him on a live stream. I give him one final offer and I let it know it's one final offer. I said, okay, here's the deal. I will give you the $2,000 to a charity of your choice to debate me on a neutral platform. And he then changed the number. He said, how about you give me $2,000 and then $2,000 in my pocket, changing it to $4,000. And so his denial of this debate actually fueled me to start actively making arguments against Islam. And so,
that's what the Muslims do. They make more enemies than they need. Like I was doing very little on Islam. I started doing it because of some morons on TikTok, but it was supposed to be like a side project. And then Daniel Akikachu challenged me to debate child marriage. And I'm like, all right, this is now going to become a major aspect of my ministry if they're going to be defending child marriage. So they have this habit of making more enemies. Even David Wood would not be here doing Islam if they didn't start giving death threats to Nabil Qureshi. So, I mean, like, yeah, they make enemies.
Oh, but I mean, same thing with my son earlier this year. So this is my oldest son. I've never once encouraged him, even slightly, to go after Islam. If he wanted to, I would have totally been cool with that. But I didn't want to like push him into this because it's kind of a decision you need to make on your own, right? You like, I'm going to be dead, but he's still going to be around and stuff like that. Do you still want to be dealing with all this stuff? So anyway. Totally never said one word to him about, hey, you need to go after Islam or you need to be hostile towards Islam or something like that. In January, they doxed his mom, started sending her, my wife, doxed his mom, started sending her threats and so on, calling her in the middle of the night while me and him were both out of town. And all of a sudden he's like, I want to destroy the Quran. He had never shown any interest at all. And now he's been studying every day. He just got a cold yesterday, but we were going to record his first video today. He wants to start making videos now, going after Islam. And it's because it's over and over again. It's here's this awful, terrible behavior and people react to it and they want to go after Islam, but it's them causing the reaction. And then they throw tantrums and act like babies when they get the reaction to their awful behavior.
Yeah, so Libiana got the reaction out of me. And so what I do to Hijab here is, Hijab, it's your bodyguard's fault. And we'll see why I call Libiano his bodyguard in the video.
Yeah.
So.
Well, you're not wrong. I mean, at this point, Hijab is hiding behind Libiano.
Yeah, his guardian.
Yeah. He's hiding behind both of them. He tapped out with God Logic, threw in Libiano, and he wouldn't even face me. He took off before I even had a chance to say hi, which is pretty pathetic. So, yeah, let's get into this. You guys tell me when to stop, and I will pause it.
Libiano today. Where's Dean?
Well,
I
Dean
saw
was
them
just
up,
here.
and I wanted to come up. So I've challenged both of them to debate me. And
Okay.
I've
Where are you based, my friend?
I'm based in Florida, USA.
Okay. Is it daytime there now?
It is.
Why did you challenge them to debate you?
Well, so
sound drunk,
Libiano and I, we actually go back.
Yeah,
and
we can
used to
skip through this.
be
I just
somewhat
talked about this.
Where do you want to start at?
Yeah, we can skip this forward maybe a minute because I tell Mohammed Hijab. So my goal again is I wanted to embarrass Libiano as much as I possibly could in just my opening sentence. That was part of the reason for me being there. Yes, I wanted to debate Dean. I thought I was going to be the one debating Dean because I was kind of coming up after the next guest. Dean left, and then Mohammed Hijab is there. Fun fact behind the scenes, there's like 10 people in the queue, and I wanted to make sure that I was like up next because my family was waiting, all of these different things. I wanted to make sure. So I took out my phone and I went to Canva and I put it up to the screen because you know how you can like see people in the backstage, right?
Yep.
I put I'm a pastor. I want to debate Dean. And I just was flashing it like this every time they were looking for the next guest. And it obviously, Muslims saw shiny movement. Muslims said, ooh, right? So my plan worked. I actually was able to come up next because of that. And so when I first go up, I specifically just want to embarrass Libiano a little bit, make it known that he ran from a debate with me. And then I'm ready to go full force at Mohammed Hijab.
Sure. He sure did. He sure did. At this point, he's just hiding behind that. He's hiding behind that $2,000 because he knows he can't defeat you. It's the same thing with the Muslim cowboy who I said I wanted to debate. And he said I had to pay for his like business class ticket to Qatar and give him like a $20,000 honorarium. Then I'd have to pay for my own travel to Qatar, where the debate would be, where I'm sure I'd be super safe in a country where you can't be a citizen if you're a Christian. So
yeah, you can play the part. Like I said, it's maybe 30 seconds in. Hijab asked me. He says, "Why didn't you debate him?" So go back a little bit.
A pretty big diverge. I challenged him to debate me, and he ignored me. I went to a live stream, and I challenged him to debate me. And his exact words is, "If I wanted to debate him, I had to pay him $2,000." Right.
Okay. Well, that's quite cheap. You should have paid it.
Well, so here's what I offered him. Here's what I offered him. I offered.
Is that immoral thinking or what?
Yeah, I offered to pay him $2,000 to a charity of his choice, not in his pocket.
Well, why not? Why can't he have it in his pocket?
I don't think.
What is with you guys, man?
Yeah, that's right. That's right. That's right. I just said I don't.
I was hoping to talk to Libiano
or
Dean, but I am more than happy to talk with you. So I heard you speaking earlier about the harf and the aruf and the kirat, right?
No, that's all right. Tell him what's your strongest argument against Islam?
My strongest argument against Islam,
Mr. Munchies over here.
I think there's a number. This is the argument I'm running right now because it fundamentally undermines, I think, a principle that is like reported within Islam.
Are you Christian?
I am Christian. I'm a Christian.
I think we need to define the kirat and akhrut.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, go ahead for the audience.
Yeah. So when I'm making this argument, I need to give a couple shout outs. So in these Islamic polemics, I have gotten connected with some really, really strong people, and I encourage everyone to go check them out on TikTok. So remember, Libiano, Dean, all these guys that are so-and-so up and coming, they're starting on TikTok with short form content. They're starting on TikTok with all of these clips, and then they're moving those followers over to YouTube, right? So there's a lot of stuff happening in short form content on TikTok regarding the Dawa scene and all of that. And so there's people over there on TikTok that are actively just destroying the Dawa that don't get nearly as much recognition. So the argument that I am presenting, it's my own kind of, formulation of it, but specifically it is something that was given to me and taught to me by people follow these people. Yakovos on TikTok, YAKAVOS, Destroyer of Sunnis, Caliph, KAYLIPH, and then the last one, Apostolic Prince. These four individuals. So it's actually funny. Destroyer of and J49er as well. J49er. All of these people are making really, really massive progress against the Dawa scene that's trying to rise up on TikTok. Like people like Cora. Do you know who those are, David? Like Cora the Taimi and Itachi.
Yeah,
and
I've heard of Cora. That's it. And I've only heard of Cora because of Malik, but I still have no clue who she is.
Yeah,
Cora the Explorer.
I literally
Cora the Explorer.
I literally debated Malik today and got him to say that God ceased to exist. That was fun.
Well, they call him Dr. Shirk for a reason. That's what set him off in a rage. He debated God Logic apparently a few years ago. I didn't see it, but everyone said like he was so insanely stupid and getting so many things wrong that everyone started calling him Dr. Shirk because he like kept committing shirk and is too stupid to know it. And
I call him Malik the Geek. But so anyway, all of this is happening. So these people, go and follow them. They're making massive progress. And so just a couple of days before I was going on Modern Day Debate, which is another video entirely, on Modern Day Debate, I got a Muslim who I was debating against to literally tell me that they should just throw out the Quran if it is different. Literally throw away one of the recitations. It's just like, oh yeah, just throw it out. I'm like, then which one do we keep? It's like, oh, the Hafs, it's most popular. Literally, it's on the modern day debate thing. All right, so
hang on. Little side note. You may be familiar with this, but I'm only saying this because we were just talking about hadith methodology and how they need reliable transmitters and stuff. They do the same thing with the Quran, right? They have to say, I got this from so-and-so, got it from so-and-so, got it from so-and-so, got it from so-and-so for their version of the Quran, right? Well, you have these different versions of the Quran. The one that became most popular in the Muslim world was the Hafs Quran. But that's funny because Hafs was considered like a thief and a liar and like an all-around like garbage transmitter and stuff. If Hafs's name appears in a change of transmission for a hadith, it's automatically considered weak hadith because he's considered such a weak transmitter. Well, how did the guy who's like automatically a weak transmitter of hadiths and can't be trusted because he's known as a liar, how did his Quran become like the standard Quran? Well, it's just because that was the preferred version of the Ottoman Empire, which was the most recent caliphate. And so they controlled much of the Muslim world. And so the Muslim world had to go with their Quran and they used the Hafs. And that's why, and it's like, how do Muslims not know any of this stuff? And but note, I'm saying that because whoever you're talking to says, yeah, if it doesn't line up with Hafs, just get rid of it, right? Well, shouldn't he be getting rid of Hafs? He's the one who's considered the liar in all of this. And it's just, they know nothing. They know nothing about the history of their own book. And it's just insane.
Yeah. So this argument
what is the kirat in the ahruf, John?
So
to get us back on.
Yeah. So can I share my screen?
Sure. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
There we go. Allow to share screen. All right. Can you see?
Yeah. No.
How about now?
Now I can.
Okay.
Well, you did the wrong thing. There we go.
So let's look at this. What is the Aruf? All right. So after Muhammad, over the period of 23 years, receives the revelation, we have these lovely hadith. Now, some of these are really funny. So Gabriel taught me to recite in one style. Okay. I replied to him and kept asking him, who is this? This is the Prophet Muhammad. And this is Sahih Muslim 819a. I kept asking him to give more styles or modes, right? These are going to be called harafs, till he reached 7 modes of recitation. Ibn Shabab said, it has reached me that these 7 modes or styles are essentially one, not differing about what is permitted and what is forbidden. They are essentially one. Now, that's really important, right? Next one that we're going to see here, this is where it happens again. I was asked to recite the Quran, and I was asked in 1 mode or 2 modes. The angel that accompanied me said, say in 2 modes. I said it in 2 modes, and then it goes all the way down, and each mode is sufficiently health-giving. Whether you utter, this is important, whether you utter all hearing and all knowing, or instead you utter all powerful and all wise, this is valid until the finish of the verse indicating punishment on mercy and indicating mercy on punishment. So, what is this saying? It's saying there's different ways to recite the Quran that are called these modes. So a single mode is called a harf, and then the multiplicity of modes, all 7 modes collectively are called the aruf, right? Now, pay attention to this right here. All hearing, or someone is reciting all powerful and all wise. These words not only differ in the semantics, but they also differ in the meaning. So I can ask you a simple question. Does all wise mean the same thing as all knowing? Well, obviously not. You can have knowledge, right? But that doesn't mean you have wisdom. I can have knowledge if I touch a stove, that the stove will burn me, right? That's knowledge that I possess. Wisdom is applying the knowledge that you have. I know that if I touch the stove, if I decide to put my hand on it and I burn myself, I was not wise. So what it is there's deliberate distinctions in the recitation of the essential one Quran that has distinction in semantics and distinctions in meaning. Muslims cannot get away from this.
Yep.
Now, this one is great. So here's a hadith where in hadith 4992, I heard Hisham bin Hakim reciting Surat Al-Furqan during the lifetime of Allah's messenger, and I listened to his recitation. Now watch this. And notice he recited it in several different ways which Allah's messenger had not taught me. I was about to jump over him during his prayer, but I controlled my temper until he was done praying, right? When he'd completed his prayer, I put his upper garment around his neck and seized him by it. So there's this guy who is hearing another Muslim reciting the Quran in a way he had not learned from the Prophet, and he decides to start strangling him because of it. Okay? We go down and he takes him to the Prophet. So I dragged him to Allah's Messenger and said to Allah's Messenger, I heard this person reciting Surat Al-Furqan in a way which you have not taught me. And Allah's apostle said, release him and then recite. And he tells him to recite. And then he recites. And they're reciting different things. That is the key part here. So the Aruf, the collection of the modes, it is called the One Essential Quran, but it has distinctions in semantics and meaning. In fact, so much in fact, someone starts choking another Muslim because he thinks it's different. So those are kind of the key things, and I can stop sharing screen here. But those are the key things we need to start with. The different modes specifically are just going to say there are different ways to recite the Quran that have distinctions in semantics and distinctions in meaning, which is going to be a major problem for hijab in this video to maintain perfect preservation.
I just wanted to add two things real quick. One, for Muslims who think that the ahruf, the different ahruf, refer to different dialects, right? Just because, keep in mind, when you hear that, guys, there's no actual basis for it. They have no clue what the different ahruf are. They have absolutely no clue. Yasser Qadi, in his book on the sciences of the Quran, I think he has like 28 different Muslim explanations of what the different ahruf are. But the one that filtered down to Muslims over the years, once they found out there were differences, is Muslims just told them it's different dialects. You know, they had different Arabic dialects, so you know they changed it. They tweaked it. Allah tweaked the Quran a little bit so that people who speak different dialects would understand it in their dialect. Problem is, Hisham there and Umar are the same. They're from the same tribe, which means they spoke the same dialect. So why are they using different ahruf for different dialects when they speak the exact same dialect? So that's one issue there. But two, Hisham, if I recall correctly, converted around 630. So 2 years before Muhammad's death, right? So think about this, guys. Think about this. So Hisham converts to Islam about 2 years before Muhammad's death. And then Umar hears this guy reciting the Quran differently. And he's like, whoa, I'm about to choke this guy out. He drags him to Muhammad. Muhammad, this guy's quoting the Quran differently. What's going on here? Oh, yeah. Allah revealed it in all these different ways. Wait a minute. Allah's been revealing the Quran in all these different ways to different people, and no one knows about it, even though you're 2 years away from Muhammad dying. So supposedly Allah's been revealing the Quran in all these different ways for all these different verses for, at this point, 20 years, and no one has a clue about it. So much so that when you hear someone, wait a minute, that is not the way I heard. That is not the way I was taught that verse. I'm about to choke this guy out. No one's ever heard about it. Really? This is what was happening. So guys, you have if you wanted to go with the best explanation, right? And if you wanted to make an inference to the best explanation, one, Muhammad's memory wasn't perfect. And over time, even he started quoting the Quran a little bit differently because his memory's not perfect. And therefore, when he's teaching new converts the Quran, he gets some things a little different because he's getting old and his memory's not perfect. And that would explain it. Or the alternative explanation, for 2 decades, he's revealing the Quran in all these different ways to different Muslims in different parts of his empire. And not one person ever recognized it. And then all of a sudden, oh yeah, Allah revealed it in all these different ways. 7, in fact.
And when you look at that very first hadith, the reason is because it's supposed to be easier for the people. Well, how does it make it easier in any sense by just changing the semantics or the meaning? That just means you have a different thing to memorize. That doesn't mean it's easier in any sense. So, Anyway, this is what the aruf is. I love David's further explanation on that. So,
cool. Let's get back to the video here.
Yes, sir.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
So you're a high level guy.
Depends what you mean by high level. but we'll see.
Oh, I like
who's
this part.
The higher level between you and I when we talk, right? Because I know you're very
It's
educated
probably
in
you, man.
school.
It's probably you.
Little did he know.
When I say,
What?
I just said little did he know, because he
Yeah.
said who the higher level is, and he said it's probably you, and that probability turned out to be the case.
That's true.
or when you hear Muslims say that the Quran is preserved dot for dot, letter for letter, do you affirm that?
The Quran is preserved dot for dot, letter for letter. Well, the thing is, it wasn't revealed with dots and letters. It was revealed with sounds. So, if you want to be very technical about
just
it,
the I'm sorry,
dots and letters were not necessarily there at the time of the Prophet. So, it was revealed with sounds.
Yes, but the spirit of what it's saying, right? Maybe not talking about like actual dots and letters, but do you think that the Quran has been perfectly preserved?
Perfectly preserved, yeah. Perfectly preserved, of course.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can perfect preservation have distinctions in semantics and meaning?
Yeah, it can.
It can? How can it?
Yeah. What do you mean?
So when you say the Quran,
I'm asking you.
when you say the Quran, what do you mean?
Okay,
are you saying that it's singular, or are you saying that it's plural?
Quran is any approved recitation from Surah Al-Fatiha to Surah Al-Nas, okay, with chapter 1 to 114 of the Prophet, which fulfills three criteria. Sorry, which fulfills three criterion.
Give me one.
My daughter's
those three
walking here.
criterion are the ones that Ibn al-Jazari mentions in Tayyibatul Nashr. Are you listening to me, my friend?
We can pause here really quick.
No, I apologize.
So my daughter's walked in here, but what he just said is what
he's going to repeat it here in a second. Once you,
okay. If you want to,
daughter walked in, she didn't
go forward.
When you ask me a good question, and I think it's fair that I answer you, right?
Yeah. So I'm going to repeat what I heard, and then I want you to repeat.
No, it's all right. I'll just repeat from the beginning.
Yeah,
okay, look.
Okay.
When you ask me what the Quran is, it is the recitation of Surah Al-Fatiha until Surah Al-Nas in a way which is commensurate with a chain of narration which goes all the way back to the Prophet and is approved by him. B, the skeletal text or the Rasm Uthmani, which is not necessarily written but is a ilm, which I can explain in a second. And the third thing is that it has to be commensurate with the Arabic language. If it fulfills all three criterion, according to the biggest authority of Qira'at probably in Islamic history, his name is Ibn al-Jazari, and the book is called Tayyibatul Nashr, which is the most authoritative book on the matter. That thing in question would be called the Quran. If it does not fulfill those three criterion, then it would not be called the Quran.
Okay. So are you affirming?
So right there, what he just said is massively important.
Yep.
Any recitation from Surah Al-Fatiha to Ananas, that is what the Quran is. Any approved recitation. So if you have 7 modes, and we'll get to this, if you have 7 modes, and those 7 modes all have differences in semantics and meaning, and those 7 modes are all from Surah Al-Fatiha to Surah Ananas, you're going to have distinctions. And this is why a little later on, you're going to see why that's a problem.
Just another point, and this is this ties into what I was saying about the Hafs Quran and the Ottoman Empire and so on. Like, Muslims don't even understand why they use the Quran they use. Right? You had a bunch of them. Then you had, in different caliphates would have their favored version of the Quran. And the most recent caliphate before the caliphate collapsed was the Ottoman Caliphate. And so Muslims still just go with the one that was the result of the Ottomans being in charge. And so my point here is these decisions that are made for them are not made by God, by prophets, but it's an empire. It's an empire convinced them that this is, the empire convinced them that that's the only Quran. They weren't even aware that in Northern Africa, they use different Qurans, and south of that, they use different Qurans. Your average Muslim didn't have any clue. And that's why they were saying dot for dot, letter for letter. They just, hey, this guy over here is using the same Quran. This guy over here is using the same Quran. So there must be only one Quran. No, you guys were all just under the Ottoman Empire. Are you stupid? Yeah. Right. So anyway, choices like that like affect even what Quran they're using again, aren't made by prophets or anything else. It's just this is what the empire decided. And they think that's like their religion and that it's super solid. Hijab just cited, well, you know, anything
Ibn
that,
al-Jazari.
yeah. This guy's like
al-Jazari is going to be
like
the nail in the
15th,
coffin,
like
man.
14th, 15th century, right? This guy's like 14th, 15th century. So he is centuries after Islam, after the rise of Islam. He's not a prophet, and they'll just go with what this guy says. And this guy speaks authoritatively on the matter. And it's like, okay, so you guys they don't realize how absolutely man-made their religion is. Like, they have over time various scholars and theologians and so on making decisions about what is and is not Islam and what is and is not the Quran, and then they all just go with it and they think this is directly from Muhammad himself, and it's total nonsense.
Yeah, it gets worse than that though, David, because he's right as far as I can tell that Ibn al-Jazari is like the authority when it comes to this topic, but that's gonna be basically the silver bullet that completes this argument, as you guys will see.
Yeah. See, John, this is what I wanted to do with Hijab, but the moment I came on screen, he scooted off that couch so fast he just couldn't even be on. I'm just annoyed I didn't get to do this. I had 3 different questions I was thinking of asking him.
What is your name?
Yeah.
What is your favorite color?
So we can for the sake of time, because I just looked at my text.
Mm-hmm.
I was yelling at John for yapping so much.
Yeah. So for the sake of time, what we can do, put the cursor on the video and we can go further. So the video, like the video I got, I don't have timestamps on. I wasn't able to look.
Bad.
Yeah, I wasn't able to get the timestamps. It doesn't actually show them because it was just like a download.
Okay. So where do you want me to go to? How far?
Okay. I can't actually see it's like kind of a quarter of the way.
Quarter of the way in?
Yeah.
Is that where you want me to go to?
Yeah.
Okay. We'll start here.
And we say, of the modes that Muslim, like that room I was saying.
Okay.
Muslim
Go back. Yep. Go back a little.
This is why I tell people to get timestamps. This is why I tell people to get timestamps. Than.
Hey, you see how much John yaps. I tried my best.
That is
and
such
Allah
a
revealed
lie.
it like that as well. Okay, like
Okay.
this way and like that way. So if you're asking, is that if someone recites only Malik Yawmuddin and does not recite Malik Yawmuddin, have they recited Surah Al-Fatiha? Yes, they have. So is the minimum requirement for the Quran to be read once is reciting it only with one mode.
Okay. Okay. So can I respond now? So if we just apply, right, the same principle of Leibniz law, right? If A equals B, then whatever is true of A is true of B.
Okay.
Right?
He knows.
If we apply Leibniz law to this principle and we say of the modes that Muslim, like that room I was saying, Muslim one.
Before this, I'll give context. When I say
gosh,
the room.
I was listening and enjoying that, and you just had to interrupt, didn't you?
John, just let it play for a second, bro.
No.
Well, when I say the rooms, so this is just so you know what I'm talking about contextually. When I say the rooms, this is what I said. I said you have 3 Muslims sitting in a room. You have 1 Muslim recite the Quran in mode 1, 1 Muslim recite the Quran in mode 2, 1 Muslim recite the Quran in mode 3. All 3 modes are distinct. So when I'm talking about the room, this is where I bring that up. Yeah. Go ahead.
Muslim, like that room I was saying, Muslim 1 recites in mode 1. Muslim 2 recites the Quran in mode 2. Muslim 3 recites the Quran in mode 3. According to Leibniz law, how many Qurans are represented by numerical identity?
That's the thing. Look, I don't think you understand what I'm saying to you, right? If you go from Surah Al-Fatiha until Surah Al-Nas.
No, I do understand. I can steal
let me explain it, because there's something clearly not. There's something.
I could steal man.
You're missing. No, there is something. The fact that you think I think is identical is a problem. I don't think they're identical. I think that there are distinctions between them, and they're not. I'm not trying to make a Trinitarian argument about Malik and Malik. I'm not.
He recognizes the symmetry.
Distinct.
Yeah.
He immediately realizes he's falling into a trap. So he's agreed there's one Quran, but there's different modes of that Quran. They're not identical in the absolute sense. It's like they're what's the phrase I'm looking for? It's like they're relatively identical.
Yeah.
It's like they're relatively identical.
For anybody just that where the symmetry is not immediately obvious, here's a slide I made. where you could just kind of see it. So,
Yes.
Yeah, I just want to add two things because he keeps saying, oh, if you started Surah Al-Fatiha and so on. Muhammad told his companions, if you want to learn the Quran from anyone, learn it from 4 people. And he listed 4 people. The top guy on his list was Abdullah ibn Masud, you know, the guy who was behind the Diddy line on the night of Al-Zut. That was Muhammad.
That's an easy way to remember it. That's how close of a companion he was to Muhammad.
That was Abdullah ibn Masud. Interestingly, Abdullah ibn Masud had 111 chapters in his Quran. He didn't believe that the first chapter or the last chapter is supposed to be in the Quran. The ones that hijab defined as you have to start here and you have to go there. He didn't believe, because these are prayers. He said our prayers are us talking to Allah. The Quran is Allah speaking to us. These are our prayers. These are not the Quran, right? And so, according to Mohammed Hijab, Muhammad's top reciter of the Quran wasn't reciting the Quran, right? Because he didn't believe those things were in the Quran. So Muhammad's top expert in the Quran was not reciting the Quran, according to Mohammed Hijab. So that's one thing. The other thing is just want everyone, again, to understand the difference between ahruf and kirat. The ahruf are something that was there, according to the hadith. According to the hadith, were there during the time of Muhammad, but these were differences, different versions of the Quran that were being recited during the time of Muhammad. That's different from the kirat, which are different canonical readings that they have today. But there's more than 7. Some say 10, some say 14, and so on. But they have different readings, which your average Muslim who is familiar with this, you keep in mind, your average Muslim is not familiar with this stuff. They've never heard of this stuff before. But the average Muslim who has heard of it, so if he's in the category of people who are familiar with this, which would probably, they'd be in the students of knowledge category, where they're actually training to become scholars and so on. What they think is, they think that you can explain the different kirat in terms of the different ahruf. And for everyone who remembers the infamous holes in the narrative interview, we used clips of that, and we used it, Christians mainly used it to destroy the myth of perfect preservation, right? The myth of perfect preservation, that it was still popular back then to say there's only one Quran preserved dot for dot, letter for letter, as we've heard Mohammed Hijab say before. And now he won't say it because he knows it's complete nonsense. But in context, Yasser Qadi was saying something much, much worse than just there are differences in the Quran and the perfect preservation thing is just complete nonsense. He was saying something much, much stronger and much worse for Islam. He was saying that students of knowledge and scholars seem to think that you can explain differences in the Quran today in the different qira'ats based on the different ahruf and the Uthmanic recension and so on, and you can explain it, and then somehow all this goes back to Muhammad. And he says, and our scholars think that, and he points out that Western academics are pointing out so many problems with what we're saying. And he even said in there, you can check the interview, he even says, and you know they're right because they're quoting our sources to us. In other words, we sort of developed this mythology that we can account for all this stuff, and we actually can't. And we know it because these guys keep challenging us, and we can't answer them because they're quoting our sources saying our explanations don't work. So when Yasser Qadi said the standard narrative has holes in it, he wasn't talking about the standard narrative of perfect preservation. That's obvious. He takes it for granted that that's complete nonsense. The holes in the narrative, the standard narrative was, we can actually account for all this in a way that makes sense. He's like, no, we can't. We don't have an explanation. And in that interview, he said, I'm working on one. I may eventually come up with one, but we do not have one. We cannot make sense of the preservation of the Quran and all of this nonsense. So that it's like pretty devastating. And we can all thank Mohammed Hijab for making that point for everyone.
Yeah, so he's denying identity here, and what he's about to do is where he buries himself.
Yep.
Let's get to some super chats before we do that. Hey, Mojab has the IQ to know when he needs to bolt. That is true. He saw me, and he's like, I can't deal with that guy. I got to get out of there. He had to get right out of there, man. Faster than a speeding Uthman. Hijab is a coward. Very true. Mohammed Hijab, more like Mohammed Hiran. Exactly. I don't know the context. Why is the goat Tiny Tin John here? What is this? Why is the goat Tiny Tin John here?
So here's the reference. I am a co-host for Big John Steele. We both have the same name, John. And so they don't call me Big John Steel. They call me either Little John Aluminum or Tiny Tin John, because I'm his co-host, which I desperately am trying to separate myself from. And y'all can just call me Bought by Blood.
Why not Tiny Tin John? I like that name.
Yeah, Bought by Blood strikes more like fear into the Muslims than Tiny Tin John.
But could you imagine if they have to explain to someone, I got cooked by Tiny Tin John, man. I don't know what happened to me. Like, that's even worse, man. That's even worse. David Wood, why is Sam acting like an uncontrolled child? What's the beef? Are you going to accept the debate? What? Guys, why are you bringing this nonsense up?
What debate?
I don't know.
And why would you think I'm paying attention to Sam ranting every day? Guys, I have one job when it comes to Sam. Periodically run my mouth to annoy him so that he obsessively whines about me for the next 3 months instead of someone else.
Yeah.
For every moment he's whining about me and AP, he's not whining about someone else. So thank you guys. We'll draw the fire. But with that said, will I debate him on what and why would I care? Anyway.
If you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge IP. Yo, someone make an AI clip and just replace that actor from the movie Dodgeball with Mohammed Hijab.
That's Rip Torn, man. Rip Torn. If you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge IP.
And put me in like the wheelchair throwing the wrench. I will praise you forever if someone can make that.
Especially if like they use AI and you're the one in the chair, and then Hijab gets busted in his face with a wrench, right?
Yeah. Then all the Muslims are like, oh my goodness, look how they're resorting to violence. They want to hit us with wrenches.
Violence against poor Hijab, not making a joke.
The wrenches, that's how they want to do to us. The sad part there, Muslim followers actually believe you ran my completely alternative reality.
It's insane.
I've never seen such blind face since Span Ranch. They trust Dawa more than they trust Muhammad. It's insane. Yeah. I got kicked, remember? I got kicked. And and I said, I'll talk to Dean. Yeah, I'll have a 30-minute conversation with Dean right here. If Hijab agrees to have a conversation with me, I just want that. I should get that as well. But he wouldn't do that.
Malik told me today as well, Mike, that you and Godlogic ran from him in California.
Is that so? Well, that's also complete nonsense. I mean,
I said, wait, when you showed up to the pier after the time that they said they were leaving, like that's when they ran.
Pretty pathetic.
What's funny, it's just hilarious. I don't even understand in what world you process what happened there, Mike, with Mohammed Hijab, because you literally said, fine, if Hijab agrees to deal, if Hijab agrees, I'll debate you if he agrees to debate me right after you, speaking to Dean. And then they ended up kicking you. I don't know. Like, the online Muslim community needs to be studied, like, psychologically, because like I have no clue what's happening.
Yep, I agree.
Neither do they.
I don't know, man. It's pretty pathetic, but I mean, yeah, they are in panic mode. You have Central Dawa quitting Dawa. You have Sheikh Uthman on the run. You have Mohammed Hijab on the run. You have some other top Dawa guys like Muslim Lantern just hiding, hoping we don't find him. We're gonna find you, Lantern, and we're gonna debate you. Now, what are you gonna do? Why is Hijab scared of you? Like, you are chill. He's scared that I was going, as Dean said, I was going to catch him off guard with some knowledge because Hijab doesn't know the topics well that I was coming prepared for. Like, you know, what the Quran says. He was worried I was going to catch him off guard on what the Quran says, guys. How could you think he could face me on what the Quran says? It's absurd. Thank you, Randy, one of our most loyal members here, always gifting Inspiring Philosophy memberships. Thank you so much. Shout out to you all. Thank you so much. So IP forced David to his stream so he doesn't stream at the same time. You see, this is the proof. Yeah, that's true. I forced David here because he keeps streaming at the same time as me Monday nights. So I made sure he was here so it didn't happen again. That's exactly right.
It's not Monday night.
But I stream every Monday night. Will you review the debate between Alex O'Connor and Trent Horn? Sorry for the out of context question. That's a possibility for Monday. I still got to look around, see what else is out there. Something might pique my interest. Also, Than, I peep that Goku figure in the back. Pretty nerdy.
He's been there for a while.
Weird super chat for Than here. We don't read these weird ones because they're for Than. And with that, I'm going to get back to the video because I'm already annoyed.
You, bro.
Yeah, feel me is what he's saying.
as
Anyway,
well as
we're
conjoined at the same time. I'm not making a contradictory claim like the Trinitarians do. I'm
Yes,
just
you
making
are.
a normal.
You're doing exactly that. It's insane.
No, he's actually doing something much worse.
Yeah, he does something
okay.
worse. So because he's denying that the Qurans are identical, right? He's denying Leibniz law here. And so because he's denying identity of the Qurans, he has to have another account. So this is the point of the LPQ. The point of the LPQ is to provide symmetry with the Trinity, right? In terms of numerical identity, and either force the Muslim into the similarity of what would be considered heresy for a Christian, right? So, for example, with the LPT, you can get out of the logical problem of the Trinity if you hold to modalism, right? Modalism, there's no logical problem there of the Trinity because now you have different modes, or partialism, or whatever. And so, if you do that, then the LPT is successful if you fall into heresy. It's also successful if you can't fix the logical contradiction of numerical identity. So it forces the Muslim to either deny or accept identity and have to utilize a metaphysical principle that Trinitarians utilize, which means now there's symmetry between the Quran and the Trinity, or they have to adopt what would be the equivalent of a Christian heresy, which is going to be incredibly problematic for what he says next.
Yes. This would all be pretty simple if he just accepted relative identity. I feel like that might help him a little bit. Maybe not a lot, but it might help him a little bit, is all I'm saying. I don't know. But he knows he can't say that because of what happened the week prior with Avery.
Yep. More claim that you have two ways of reciting this particular verse. You have Malik and you have Malik. Owner and king. Both of them are approved by the Prophet. Okay. And that's it. Simple as this.
Okay. So I understand. Respectfully, you didn't answer my question.
Okay, well, maybe you didn't understand my answer, because I'm saying to you that it's not the same. We don't believe the law of identity or substitution identity holds in this situation, because we're not saying everything that is true of, because it's ridiculous. There are aspects of the Quran which are completely different from other aspects anyway. Chapter 1 is different from chapter 2, but they're both
are you applying a part-whole relation? Or are you applying an equivocation?
So it's a part-whole relation. That's what I'm saying to you. It's a part-whole relation. It's okay. Malik is part of the Quran. Malik.
Camera gone.
Even his camera guys like turn this off. Oh no, Islam, I cut his camera, but not his mic. Oh.
I just want to point out really quickly, there's an extension to this argument that, John, you didn't get to go into for this, because Mohammed Hijab is a Salafi, he rejects the Kalam al-Nafsi and Kalam I forgot the two distinction. David, do you remember what it is? The distinction between the uncreated speech of Allah and then the actual physical books?
No, not the terms.
Yeah, long story short, because he's a Salafi, he denies that distinction. And so when he says that he takes a mereological view of the Quran, that's going to entail a mereological view of the word of Allah. And then what's going to end up happening down the road,
parts in Allah of
the
Tawheed
argument is that there is mereology in Allah, but that's a violation of Tawheed. So that's a place that they didn't get to go down, unfortunately.
Yeah. So I mean, so just summarize. Okay, so go ahead, John. Summarize what he just said there for people that may not be following.
So what he just said, okay, is that there is a part-whole relation. So when I asked him, I said, all right, you got 3 Muslims in a room. One is reciting in mode 1, one in mode 2, one in mode 3, right? We know that they're all distinct from each other. Okay, so Leibniz law, because there is distinctions in semantics and in meaning, if you use Leibniz law, you have to count 3 Qurans. How many full Qurans are being recited in that room? If he says 1, then he has got to be using some metaphysical principle that is used in Trinitarianism. If he says 3, well, obviously, you don't want to say that there's 3 Qurans, right? You don't want to say, and going all the way up, 4, 5, 6, 7. Mohammed Hijab does not want to say that there are 7 Qurans. And so he takes the path, what he thinks is of least resistance, and adopts what would be like the equivalent to Trinitarian partialism, and saying, okay, mode 1, mode 2, mode 3, mode 4, mode 5, 6, 7, they are each part of the Quran. Here's the issue. Remember what he said in the beginning. The Quran is any approved recitation from Surah Al-Fatiha to Surah An-Nas, and you get this, and if I'm butchering the pronunciation, I'm American, deal with it, right? But the point is, what he committed himself in the beginning is that the Quran equals the approved recitations, and if mode 1, if the Muslim of Muslim 1 recites in mode 1, then what you have is that Muslim is reciting the entire Quran from Surah Al-Fatiha to the first chapter to the last chapter. Same with Muslim 2 and same with Muslim 3. And so what he's just done now is he said each of the modes are a part of this other thing called the Quran. And so you are no longer, you can have a Muslim recite all in mode 1, the entirety of the Quran. You can have them recite the entire thing. You can have them believe the entire thing. You can have them preach the entire thing. You can do that. And it's going to mean what he says next, that it is not the case. It is not the case that they have recited the whole Quran. They've recited a part of it. They've believed a part of it. They've preserved a part of it.
And for people that are confused on certain things, I have slides that I put together for visual aid for key parts. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Just want you to know, guys. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I just wanted to point out. So two things. One, if you're reading an entire one entire version of the Quran, pick any version you want. You read the entire thing, you memorize the entire thing, and you say, I've memorized the entire Quran. No, you haven't. You've memorized part of the Quran, according to Mohammed Hijab.
Yep.
But you might think, well, if I memorize all of the canonical readings, then I've memorized the entire Quran. No, because you lost a bunch of the a bunch of the original stuff when Uthman burned the copies, and when a sheep ate some, and when a bunch of parts were lost in battle, and so on, which means no Muslim, at least since the time of Muhammad himself, has ever memorized the entire Quran. So all you guys, so many Muslims memorize the Quran. No, so many Muslims memorize parts of the Quran, according to Mohammed Hijab, the Dawa champ.
What do we call that? That's partialism, Patrick.
Yeah, it's partialism, and it's about to get him in.
Yeah. So if we keep going, you'll see.
The only thing I'm really sad about is the product of 40 generations of cousin marriage won't actually understand what's happening here. But
no, that's the real problem. They won't. Like
Mike,
if
you watched the video that's coming out.
If your average Mohammed Hijab fan watches what we just said, they will not understand anything we just said, and so they never understand the problem.
David, I have a video that's coming out tomorrow that is making this sort of stupid proof. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, no, there's no such thing when it comes to Islam, man. I'm telling you.
It's also part of the Quran. That is what I'm saying. It's more.
I'm gonna back it up here. I just want to make sure we get a little bit more of that. What he said there was kind of interesting.
Yep.
Or are you applying an equivocation?
So it's a part-whole relation. That's what I'm saying to you. It's a part-whole relation. It's Malik is part of the Quran. Malik is also part of the Quran. That is what I'm saying. It's mereologically part-whole. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, if it's part-whole, then your camera just died. If it's part-whole, then if it is the case that someone recites mode 1 and someone recites mode 2 and someone recites mode 3, then they are not reciting. Because I asked you earlier, I said, are they reciting the Quran?
One second,
let me finish. I didn't cut you off. So
he lets me finish, and I'm grateful for that.
Yeah, I'm grateful. He didn't let Avery finish anything, man. He's like letting you go. Yeah, I'm telling you, man. He didn't. That's the thing. He didn't know who you were, so he's like, "This will be easy."
Yeah,
but like maybe logic.
Maybe they're like you sounded like too much of an idiot jumping in every 2 seconds, so they slipped him something.
Yeah, maybe.
Him a little something in his drink.
I'm grateful right now that he lets me finish, but he shouldn't have. Watch what happens. Back it up just a little bit, because I
noble but foolish.
Noble but foolish, man. I'm jealous of you, John. This is exactly what I wanted, but he took one look at me and took off.
I
never let him forget.
I texted you. I told you I aspire to strike fear in the hearts of Muslims like you do. One day I'll be there, Mike.
I don't get it, man. I'm just a 5'8" white boy. I don't get it.
Let me finish. I didn't cut you off. So it is not the case that they are reciting the Quran if they only recite in mode 1, mode 2, and mode 3, but rather, according to what you just said, they are reciting part of the Quran.
Yeah. Okay. No, see, that's right. Okay.
Oh my!
But when I say I've read Genesis, I say I'm reading the Bible.
You just all right. That's it, guys. That's it. All right, no more. Islam's gone. I guess it's over. All right. All these claims we've been hearing from them. They're scholars.
Oh man, I can't wait to show you some of these quotes.
And it's even better
soon.
too. So I didn't mention this in the debate, but this is also true. So there was something that was called like the final recitation with the angel Jibril. Okay, so the final recitation with the angel Jibril is only in one mode. So the final recitation directly from Allah with the Prophet Muhammad now is not even the full Quran either. It's only part of the Quran.
Yep.
Dang, man.
Bible. It doesn't. That's a vernacular expression. All right. If I read the book of Genesis,
right there. That's also a really key phrase he just used.
Vernacular.
He's basically saying this phrase "perfect preservation" means nothing. That's the translation.
Perfect preservation is just all semantics. That's all. Yeah. That's all it is. It's just the vernacular. Doesn't actually equal that something has actually been preserved.
As we like to say, which when we start every stream on Islam, perfect preservation. Yeah, that myth got wrecked. That's what we like to say when we start streams on this channel.
And I say I'm reading the Bible. What I mean is, and this is I don't understand. Every week, it's as if I speak to Christians. I don't understand part and whole. If I say a part of something can be expressed in the language
Here
of
comes
whole.
Muslim orthodoxy.
If I say I read the book of Genesis,
I like this.
Is it okay for me
where
to
he
say
says, "May Allah guide my son to Islam"? Say Amen, everybody.
Oh yeah,
Ameen. Say Ameen.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Libiano tries to come on here. That's gonna be fun.
Yeah, this where it's fun. Anyway,
in
go
the
ahead.
Bible, of course, it's okay for me to say I'm reading the Bible if I'm only reading Genesis. So you can use a part to express a whole. I thought I made that clear.
Okay, but how would?
But no. Okay, this is important. So he's trying to provide a symmetry between picking up the Bible and just reading the book of Genesis with what I just said about the Quran. No one can say, or like when I open the Bible and I just read Genesis, I can never affirm that I have read the whole Bible when I read Genesis. But remember, every approved recitation from the first chapter to the last chapter is the Quran. And so the symmetry completely breaks down because now he's trying to say that if you read just in mode 1, in one sense, he's trying to say that you're reading the whole Quran, right? But in another sense, he's saying, nope, you're only reading part of the Quran. And so it completely breaks down. There's a symmetry breaker there between his example.
May God guide these people to Christianity. Say Ameen, everybody. Ameen. I want to hear it in the chat. Ameen.
Pro parte is called totum pro parte, which is using a whole to describe a part and vice versa. You can do that. That's a normal.
So now we can ask an epistemic question. Okay.
Okay.
If I hear a Muslim say the Quran has been perfectly preserved, and I hear one Muslim say that it's never been changed, right? There was, I can't remember the name of the scholar right now, but specifically, there was a person who went around saying it was.
John, just so you know, they're panicking right now. That's why these comments are coming up. They're trying to do whataboutism, distract you, change the subject. They recognize what just happened.
Wait, so this is fine. Yeah, this is fine. So stay in the comments. You'll see how I answer that because Libiano's about to make an appearance because Mohammed Hijab realizes what he has just done. I think he's smart enough to understand that what he's just done, he's denied numerical identity. He also recognizes there's distinctions, and he can't apply a metaphysical principle that could be applied to the Trinity. So he takes what he thinks is the path of least resistance as partialism, and he understands what he's been done. Look at his face. He's like, all right, so
it's over, man. It's over. Like it's already over at this point. You smoked him. He's stuck in the web, and he's just trying to talk his way out of it
at this point.
There's no way out, though.
No, dot for dot, letter for letter, right? He was a very influential person. There's clips of him. Do you know what I'm talking about?
No, because look, the dots and the letters were only introduced in like.
No. I'm just saying this was.
We can skip.
He was in
this.
Yeah, nothing really comes here. I think the next thing that happens is Libiano comes.
Oh yeah. There he is. Okay.
Muslims that you speak to are unaware of what I'm saying. That's because they haven't learned it formally.
Yeah, that's fine.
So I try and teach these people.
Guys,
look at my look at my face. Look at my face.
Guys, I have to go rescue Mohammed Hijab again. We have to keep rescuing him from inspiring philosophy and God logic.
But
now,
like watch what Libiano tries to do. He's not. He realizes how cooked this conversation is, and you'll see what he tries to do.
Look at my face. Look how happy I am to see him.
We're gonna put you on in a second. Let me just.
What's up,
man? Make sure you don't. Libiano, make sure he's transferred the money before he speaks to you.
I just want to point something quickly, right? I'll let you guys because I'm outside. Hey, John, are there 3 gods in a sense?
It depends on what you say. So listen. Wait, listen to me. Wait, 1 second.
John, are there 3 gods in a sense, John?
There are not 3 gods in a sense as it pertains to ontology. No.
Not
actually, that's a good question. Maybe we should go to that.
There are not 3 gods in a sense as
we're gonna put you in. We're gonna put you in right after this. We don't want to make it look like a 2-on-1 because
I got you.
No, I'll talk with him. But I just want an agreement from you really quick. Libiano, if you want to jump in, I know why you're jumping in.
This is
jumping in because Hijab. I mean, Hijab was providing endless content for everyone who wants to completely destroy more lies about the Quran. But
is this why they took the stream down?
I don't know why.
I think it's a conjunction of 2 things. I think it's a conjunction of him running from you, and a conjunction of what he just agreed to. I don't think it's.
He was also getting chastised during the stream when he was showing footage of. Yeah.
A lot of bad stuff. Yeah, this was a disaster for them.
This was really bad. What's really funny too is people like Libiano's trying to say John was running from Libiano here, but pay close attention to what John is saying here. Also, this whole 3 gods in a sense thing is so stupid because all Muslims want to do here is just play with words. Like you can answer the question and just go 3 divine persons.
Honestly,
and then you're good.
This is what they do. Yeah. Every time they have got cooked, every time they've got trapped, what do? 1 + 1 + 1 = 1 = 1, does it?
Oh, 3 gods in a sense? Oh, did you say Rome is in Italy?
It's like, dude, like every time they're caught, what do? They do this exact same thing. This is how you know they're getting cooked. Guys, if you're talking to a Muslim, and you're cooking them, you will know you're cooking them if they go, does 1 + 1 = 1 = 1? Do you believe in 3 gods? Aha, I win. This is what they do every time.
So this is the moment in the debate, okay, where I about make the biggest mistake that I could make. So I started the stream out with saying, hey, listen, me and Libiano got beef, okay? As soon as I saw him, I not only smiled, I smelled blood. Okay. The biggest mistake I about made is where I was willing to stop debating Hijab just so I could pummel him.
And I get it.
And that would have been the worst thing for me to do after the concession I got with Hijab. So watch what happens though.
Pertains to the nature of God. There are not 3 gods.
Put me down now.
We'll come to that, John.
No. Wait, don't drop. No. I want you here, Libiano.
No. So here,
don't run.
Rewind. You hear what he said?
Yeah.
You hear what he said? He's trying to just come up, get some sort of like quick thing, but then he says he's gonna drop. All right.
Yeah.
And I heard him say that, and I'm like, no, don't you dare! I'm trying to retain him. I should have just said, okay, go away. But I smell blood.
Speak to
don't run.
3 gods in a sense.
Don't run.
Man. 3 gods in a sense. I'm here, bro.
Did I or did I not offer you $2,000 to debate me formally on a neutral platform? Did I or did I not offer you $2,000 to a charity of your choice to debate me on a neutral platform? And actually, I've got an argument just for you. I actually made an argument for you.
Is his audio just not working?
Yeah, he was. It magically went away. No, there's nothing wrong with the video mic. It's literally just Libiano.
I know he got an issue. Libiano, fix your audio.
By the way, isn't this crazy? They're to the point where they can no longer talk about the Quran. They can't do it. Like they have to.
You good?
I mean, it's like insane.
Yeah.
There you go.
No, I mean, imagine like Here we have our claims about this being the book, the final revelation, which everyone needs to follow and submit to and stuff like that. Oh, we got a couple questions, but are there three gods in a sense? And they can't answer it because they don't have a coherent position that doesn't destroy their claims.
Guys, I want you to spread the word. Tiny Tin John cooked Mohammed Hijab. Let it be known
made him
that's
run.
how bad it was.
Cooked baby Mimi Hijab.
Telling you, man.
You just branded me for life.
So I'm just saying, man. I'm just saying,
At
hey,
least you're
listen.
not the gay retard, bro.
Listen, man. It's even better. You know what? This goes back to something I used to say. This is what I used to say when I was debating atheists. When people were like, hey, they want to set up a debate with you, an atheist. What should I tell them about you? I would just tell them, John. I'd just be like, just tell them I'm a Christian apologist. Don't say I do philosophy. Don't say I study it. Just say he's a Christian apologist. I did that on purpose because that was a derogatory term among them. So they would just underestimate me. They would assume, hey, it was just a nobody. This will be an easy win for me, and they wouldn't prepare a lot. Like, you got to own the insults. Take it to heart.
Yeah, bro.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you now. Yeah.
Libiano,
Where'd you go, Libiano?
What a coward!
Wait, look at Hijab's face. Wait, right there. Rewind.
Oh, yeah, it's really funny,
What are we
dude.
gonna do?
Watch
What are we
this.
gonna do
As
now?
soon as Libiano drops.
Oh no, what's going
Where'd
on?
you go, Libiano?
What's going on?
He says, "Where'd my bodyguard go?"
Oh, let's finish what we were talking about, and then Libiano's going to come on now. Yeah.
Yeah, I've got an argument. Just.
Let's finish what we were saying.
To be clear,
and
the
then
question.
coming
The
on now,
question he
fixing out his
asked.
audio.
Well, really quick, the question
talk
he
about,
asked.
don't
I
worry.
want to be perfectly clear. There is never a point where I have ever said that there are three gods
We'll come
in a
to
sense
that.
in reference to
You
nature.
can speak to Libiano about that.
So
You don't need to get
yeah.
defensive. You can speak to
Hey.
Libiano about that.
So
To Hijab's credit, he actually okay, let's finish our conversation then. To his credit.
That's fair.
That's the
Yeah,
first
whatever they
that's
gave
the
him.
first drop of testicular fortitude we have seen in this entire discussion from Hijab.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
answering
that's
your
fair.
question about
Really
the
quick.
Quran, yeah?
yeah.
So
So back
you
to
asked
you.
the question about the Ahruf. You asked the question about the Quran, right?
Yeah. So on the part whole relation, you say, okay, if someone recites mode 1, they're reciting the Quran.
Yeah.
Yes.
A part of the Quran. How about that?
Okay.
Is that better?
And then he just
Reciting
affirms it
part
again.
of the
Yeah.
Quran.
Yeah.
And so if you have the Quran as a part whole relation,
Yeah.
then you actually would have to say that at certain points the Quran was not fully revealed until the
Yeah, of
seventh
course.
mode was revealed, right?
Oh yeah, that's what we affirm.
Okay, all right.
The Quran says that itself.
Okay, so
No, it doesn't.
Now
So
let me ask
this is
you-
It
important.
doesn't. It
This is
doesn't.
important. The Quran refers to itself as the book. It does not ever refer to itself internally as a plurality, right?
Right.
There's no the royal we of the Quran. Okay. The royal we of the Quran does not exist.
Maybe that's what Allah's speaking to whenever he uses the royal we in the Quran. It's all the other
polytheism
parts of the
All right.
Quran.
So no, the Quran does not say this at all. It refers to itself as the book, the kitab, right? So
Yep.
let me ask the
There was a
epistemic
time where the whole
question.
Quran wasn't revealed. There wasn't even one verse of the Quran revealed.
So now let me ask.
I don't know what that has to do with anything,
right? Because
Okay.
there are specific instances.
Because this
in
doesn't
the
seem like a
Hadith.
strong argument, John, if I'm honest with you.
Well,
Oh my goodness,
Let me bring
dude.
this up. So I'm gonna.
He
Dude,
doesn't
hey.
realize what's happening.
Hey,
Like, that's
hey,
the
guys.
best part.
Yeah, guys. Jai and Anthony and I were discussing this logical problem of the Quran in a chat. But yeah, we'll end up making at least one regular video and doing at least a live stream. But this is like the Quranic dilemma, right? Based on what Hijab has said, you have the Quranic dilemma. Either you don't have the whole Quran. You've just got a part of the Quran. That's all that exists. Even if you gather all the readings together, you still don't have the full Quran because a bunch of the stuff was lost when Uthman started burning it all, right? So either you don't have the Quran, in which case no Muslim should ever say he's memorized the entire Quran because you literally don't have it, or there are a bunch of different Qurans. That's it. So either you don't have the full Quran or there are lots of different Qurans. and those are your two options. So pick one. But don't walk around saying there's only one Quran and you have it. You can't. That ship has sailed. No one can believe that anymore. But but keep in mind, that's like 99.9% of Muslims believe, and it's totally false according to what's coming out right now in these discussions.
Yep. Ask an epistemic question now. Sure. There are instances where people that were around Muhammad's time would hear these different modes, and actually they would
so
look at
those
it
people
as
that just came in, they're prepping him to run right now. Like they're giving him. That's what's happening. Just watch what happens next.
No one is shocked by that, John. This is what they do with him.
Yeah,
misquoting.
No, he's saying they're like putting on his tennis shoes and stuff like that. So
yeah, they're prepping it.
That's
so
true.
when we're looking at perfect preservation, right?
What would happen afterwards? So, like for example, there's a hadith.
One second. Let me.
Wait, hold on. You made a claim, so it needs to be corrected. What you're saying is half true. It's not fully true. You said that there were instances where they would think it's misquoted. The fact is, they thought it was misquoted, and then when they clarified with the Prophet told them "Hakada unzilat." In fact, this is a very famous hadith. "Hakada unzilat," that it came down like this and it came down like that. For example, the hadith of Umar ibn al-Khattab when he was in the prayer with somebody reciting Surah Al-Furqan, which is chapter 25 of the Quran, whereby that person was reciting it with slightly different recitational variations. So Umar ibn Khattab in the hadith says that I felt so angry that I wanted to grab this guy and deal with him, but I restrained myself because I was praying, and then after that I went to the Prophet.
He's misquoting the hadith.
I dragged this guy with me, and I said to him, recite it the way that you recited it to me in the prayer. So then he recited it the way that he recited it to Umar in the prayer, and the Prophet said, "Hakada unzilat, hakada unzilat." The way you've recited it is a mode or is a recitation, and the way you've recited it is a mode and recitation. So all of the instances where in which there's a prophetic approval of the different recitations, this is clearly showing you that all of this is within the preservation, within the remit of preservation in the Quran. So can we agree, number one, that's a justifiable thing? People can agree or disagree, no problem.
No,
the Bible.
No, we do not agree. You're not agreeing that that's a justifiable thing whatsoever. Now watch what he just does here. Can we agree that's a justifiable thing? The Bible, on the other hand, this is where the track shoes come on, where he's running away from the other entailments that this is going to bring. I didn't even get to bring them. The things that we've talked about, he did not let me get to all the issues that this is.
Do we want to go to that instead and then just stop watching this? Or did you any more you want to play of this?
No, he shifts to the Bible now and then accuses me of a two-quotation.
Yeah, the rest of this is just basically a crash out. Basically, the rest of this is Hijab trying to get to chest thump against John, and then they kick him.
Well, I do give him a symmetry. I do give him a symmetry breaker.
Yeah, you do.
So wait,
yeah.
Are we going to play any more of this, or are we just going to talk about what we didn't get to mention in here?
I mean, we've finished Hijab. The next thing he does is just try to
he just crashes out of the Bible.
He crashes out. I have no problem watching it. The Muslims are going to watch this and be like, he doesn't want you to see it. No.
Oh, the Muslims can watch. The Muslims can watch the video tomorrow.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Yeah. So anyway, what he does next is he tries to provide symmetry. Is like you have contradictions, you have things like this, you have distinctions. Actually. Pull it up. There is one thing that happens here that's actually really important.
And this is what I was saying to your friend. There are contradictory versions. There are some sects of Christianity that have canons, that have Bibles in their canon or books in their canon that are not in the other canon.
Thing.
For example, the 66 books of the Protestants, the 72 books.
Just real quick, this is so dumb because we do not say the Bible is the uncreated speech of Yahweh.
Yeah.
We say it is history.
That's the symmetry breaker that John gives.
What? Yeah. What you're about to say is where I provide a symmetry breaker.
Man.
Yeah. Little side note. By the way. super interesting, that particular criticism, like because Muslims, when they hear this stuff, they have no idea what anyone's, they hear 66 books, 73 books and stuff, and they think it's like just all these different books and stuff. They don't realize, okay, there's no disagreement on Matthew, no disagreement on Mark, no disagreement on Luke, no disagreement on John, no disagreement on Acts, Romans, and so on. It's certain other books, because there were debates about them and so on. But here's the thing: if you consider that a problem, that there are Christians who disagree on what's supposed to be in the canon, what do you do with Ibn Masud, Muhammad's top guy? That's the number one guy. He said Surah 1, Surah 113, Surah 114 aren't supposed to be in the Quran. They're not the Quran. They're prayers. Yep. How do they end up in there? They're not the Quran, right? So that's what he said. Then you have Ubay ibn Ka'b, who agreed with the 114 chapters that are in there, but he had 2 additional chapters, which were 2 additional prayers, right? Zayd ibn Thabit, who's given charge first by Abu Bakr, then by Uthman, to compile the Quran, and they weren't the same. But even by one guy, he basically compromised. Okay, so Ibn Masud, he says none of these prayers should be in there. Ubay has 5 of the prayers. We'll just take 3. We'll take 3 of them, put them in there and stuff, and then everyone will be happy and so on. If you think it's a problem of certain people including certain things in certain books in the canon, other people saying no, Muhammad's original companions couldn't even agree on which chapters of the Quran are even supposed to be in the Quran itself. So, following your reasoning, you guys got big problems. But what do you do now that you've admitted that all you've got is part of the Quran? You've only got part of the Quran, which means you're missing a bunch of stuff which should be canon. But Uthman burned it, and so it's. I mean, imagine we took the Bible and we just imagine there was a dispute, and some said 73 and some said 66, and you just say, well, we'll just burn every copy of those other ones. There, problem solved. Now no Bible. Oh, okay, well, what if that? They don't get it.
Yeah. So something I do remember. There is something really important he says here that throws his entire religion under the bus. I just remember. So keep playing it.
The Ethiopian Orthodox. You have different books in canon. Okay.
You said a lot.
You cannot compare what's going on in the Quran, where you have prophetic endorsement and approval at every recitational level, versus verses are missing, verses are omitted, verses are interpolated, verses are fabricated. There's corruption. There's all these things going on. There's book here. There's not a book there. This canon has 66 books. This canon has 72 books. Athanasius came in the 3rd century and decided there's 22 books.
You're making a lot of claims.
These two things. I'm sorry, but these.
Dude, this is exactly what he did to Avery when he was getting caught on the Islamic dilemma. He just gish galloped. He's doing that here.
2 things. Are not the same, and if you pretend that they are,
watch the question he asked me.
Scholarship, because scholars, in fact,
no, I can give you a symmetry breaker really simply.
Don't believe in that.
I can give you a symmetry breaker. So your symmetry breaker between the Quran and the Bible is that there is no point, there is no doctrine in which we have to hold to perfect preservation in the sense of like a dot for dot, letter for letter. We can hold a preservation of meaning, we can hold inspiration, but there is no doctrine that holds to a perfect preservation, because the idea is that the scripture, the Bible, it is just recorded history. It's parables, it's poetry, it's a number of these different categories. And so your symmetry breaker is going to be there. I wanted to address some of the other stuff you said.
This question.
You just made a point. I just want to ask you about something that you said, right?
Watch the question.
So, on the point that you said, there's no doctrine in Christianity about a preserved Bible.
That's not what you said.
My question to you is this then. My question is, if God created the heavens and the earth, which we both believe, right? We believe God created the heavens and the earth, the sun and the moon, everything around us. And he's all knowing, he's all wise. Does it make sense if he's going to reveal a book to humankind for guidance, that such book should A, be preserved, or B, be corrupted? Does it make sense for God, if he's revealing a book for all of humankind, to allow that book, which is meant for the guidance, the salvific guidance of all humans, for such a book to be corrupted? Does that make sense to you?
But according to you,
Does
preservation.
it make sense? Yes or no? Don't change it.
No. I'm saying the example that you're giving, according to you.
Forget about according to me. I'm asking a question. Yes, no question. Not according to me. Answer the question. Does it make sense or not?
It's not just a yes or no, because I'm.
Yes, it is yes or no. I can assure you.
Do you know what I mean when I say preservation? Because you're asking me a question about preservation.
Okay, so
you have to
does it
know
make sense?
how I'm using the term preservation. Yes. If I'm to answer your question, you have to know how I'm using the term
and
preservation.
tell me, then you can answer the question. Go ahead.
Okay, so preservation, if we're using it in the same sense, where there can be distinction in semantics, distinctions in meanings, that is going to be just analogous with the Quran, and also you're even allowing for qira'at contradictions in different translations. For example, like in 10:16,
you're moving from pillar to post.
No. I'm not moving anywhere. I'm saying
you're actually from the question. I just asked you one question. Now you're saying qira'at. We've already dealt with the qira'at. We've already dealt with it. You're now moving to qira'at contradictions.
No.
I mean, this is
no.
the question of mine.
Because did you bring up contradictions? Did you bring up contradictions about the Bible?
No, hold on. You're moving on to. Why are you moving from pillar to post?
Did you bring up contradictions about the Bible? Did you say that there are contradictions in the Bible?
Why are you moving from pillar to post?
Did you?
Why can't we just go from one point to another?
Did you make the claim there are contradictions in the Bible?
Yeah, I said there's contradictory versions of the Bible. Contradictory versions, right?
Okay, so
and I also so for example,
the symmetry in terms of preservation is I'm going to say of the qira'at.
Two cookie fallacy.
That is not.
If Islam is false, if Islam is false, and
dude, he's crashing out. He's not even letting you talk.
Yeah, he's crashing out.
He accuses me of tu quoque.
He's the one doing it.
Catch the question he asked me. He asked me about what would be more likely, right?
Does it make sense for God to allow his revelation to get lost? Well, here's the thing, John, with everything he concedes, on top of what Ibn al-Jazari has to say and inform us, what he says is the foremost authority on the Qira'at, that means that, well, everything that Hijab says entails, in conjunction with Ibn al-Jazari tells us, that we actually just don't have the full Quran anymore.
Yeah, well, not only that, it's also going to throw out the notion of why the Torah is corrupted on his view.
Yep.
Why the Injil is corrupted on his view. This asking the question, why would you expect the God of the universe to not preserve his revelation that he gives to mankind, right? That's immediately going to throw out, well, I could ask the same question to Hijab. Why did Allah not preserve his revelation that he gave to mankind? Right? So he throws his religion under the bus there by asking me that question without even realizing it.
Yeah.
But no, that's basically, he then accused me of a tu quoque, and then they come up and they say, at the very end of the stream, he comes up and they kick me and don't let me even address like the claims, like the very end. And he says, we can see the changes in your physiology.
Yeah.
Why are you looking at my physiology? Like, what are you talking about? What? Right? Like, no, if you want, you can watch it. It's the very end of the stream. He says, why are there changes in your physiology? We saw changes in your morphology as well. As soon as he brought up the Bible. So it was really
like I said, they were basically just chest thumping against John.
I want to talk about these small little nuances about Islam. You've got this qira'at, you've got this, you've got that.
Yeah, someone put sub-whore on the screen. Someone called him sub-whore.
Yeah, they switched. So Mohammed Hijab was done with me, and they moved the camera just a few seconds before this. It was literally he was only on the screen. Like
Hey, yeah. I don't know what you titled this, but you should title it. John versus 3 Muslims or something like that.
Yeah.
Well, he does. I don't get to say anything to him.
To the Bible, you just admitted, although it was painful for you to do so, that there was no agreement upon what is the Bible until many centuries later. And then you have the audacity to turn up here. And
yes, look, John is in panic mode right now. Look at him. He's clearly just sitting there panicking.
That's the face of a man that's really annoyed by a dude that's just stupidly. I'm making up a word. Because I don't know what word would reflect this. Stupidly yapping nonstop at him.
To try and bring up nuanced points about Islam, which are beyond your pay grade, beyond your comprehension.
They're not beyond my pay
no
grade.
longer are going to be changing colors live. Goodbye. We're going to find someone else to talk to. All right. So we're going to.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous, man. They were
In other
panicked,
words,
man.
you cooked Daddy Hijab, so we got to get rid of you. I do want to show some quotes from Ibn al-Jazari, which just as a reminder, really quick, Ibn al-Jazari is the guy that Hijab referenced in the beginning of your discussion, right? So if you look here, whoever examines the statements of the early scholars will know the reality of the matter. That is, that the Uthmanic codices did not contain all of the 7 aharuf in which the recitation of the Quran was permitted. And then he even goes further and says, this view is prohibited because much of what differs from the written text has been authentically transmitted from the companions and from the Prophet.
That means Allah has not preserved the whole Quran according to Muslim theology, ladies and gentlemen.
And according to Mohammed Hijab. So remember,
you know
it's
what
a
that
part
means?
hole.
But
It's a part hole relation. So he's
Think about that,
recognizing that if all 7 of the aharuf, if all 7 are not present anymore, then it is the case they don't have the Quran. That is a necessary entailment.
But
from
think
this
about
position.
that. Think about what they say, though.
They
think
have
about what
to
they
say.
say, though. Think about what we're always told. The Torah has been corrupted. The Zabur has been corrupted. The Gospel's been corrupted. There were also all these prophets sent to all these other nations. We don't have their writings. But we're told, oh, no, but we have the Quran. Allah preserved that. Guess what, ladies and gentlemen? Allah also did not preserve the Quran. No. It's over. You don't have any preserved text in Islam.
Allah couldn't protect the Quran from a sheep, man. From a sheep.
Here's the thing. Ibn al-Jazari basically commits you. Okay, like he says it is actually, he doesn't say you can't believe this or anything like that. He says this is prohibited, right? Hence that second quote. And the reason why is basically this argument, right? If the Uthmanic Codex contains all 7 aharuf, then any recitation outside of the Rasam cannot be part of the 7 aharuf. But there's authentic recitations from the Prophet that fall outside of the Rasam, and those cannot be rejected. So, therefore, the Uthmanic Codex cannot, under any circumstances, contain all of the 7 aharuf. Like,
his own source. It's his own source. This is who he quoted as his authority. Disagrees with him that the 7 aharuf are preserved today.
Also, I may as well show this to you really quickly. Al-Jazari even points out that the truth is this, the truth, what has been established from the statements, and then he quotes all of these classical Islamic authoritative scholars. Like Ibn Taymiyyah is in here. And for people that don't know, like that's a big deal for like the Salafis. So
they love Ibn Taymiyyah. Yep. All right, let's get to these super chats because David's got another stream coming up. So let's get through these. What is that? What's going on? Who are all you guys? What's up? Basically, hello. Well, hello to you too. By the way, any plans to review? Yeah, we will. This was already asked. We will. It's on our list as a potential stream for Monday evening. Imagine how hilarious and or true the 2,903 hadith Bukhari rejected would have been. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure some of them wound up in like, what are they called?
Other collections, and even other collections by Bukhari.
Ibn Majah, for example.
So him rejecting those, I mean, obviously a bunch of them were just complete made up nonsense and so on, but not being included did not mean that he's saying these are not true stories and stuff like that. So some of them end up elsewhere.
Just blink twice to check your hearing in your leather strap. Powerful. Wonder if Momo ever intended his cult to survive his death since he didn't have his blathering collected into a single written source. Yeah. That's it. Well, I mean, he did think the end of the world was going to happen pretty soon. He mentioned a child. Well, by the time they grows up, the end of the world would happen by then. By the time the kid's an old man. So I mean, like, he didn't expect it to be around this much longer. Did you guys get God Logic's permission to do this? We sure did. Central Dawa spilled the beans. We all have to get God Logic's permission to do stuff.
I apologize. Wait, God Logic, I'm sorry. I did fart during the stream. That was my fault.
Without permission.
That was my fault.
Permission.
Yeah.
Without permission, man. That's ridiculous. How dare you? Yeah, you got to get permission.
Yeah, if you don't know like that, go and watch the video from about Central Dawa.
Central Dawa said we God logic apparently runs everything, and we can't fart without his permission.
Yeah,
which tells me that he's just throwing what happens in Dawa onto us. Like there's obviously like a kingpin, Mohammed Hijab, and they all have to do what he says. Like we saw that in the group chats that got leaked, that he's just sort of in charge. They have to lie for him. They got to wake up at 5 a.m. to go debate inspiring philosophy for him because he's too scared. Like that's what happens over there. But over here, like, yeah, no, like sometimes it's like David has a great idea. So he leads and we all follow. Sometimes it's like God Logic has got a great idea, like going to New York. So we all do that. Sometimes, like I have like, hey, let's do this stream and people get together. Like we take turns with different ideas, man. Not to defend Dean, but the full quote is, you think you can catch him off guard. It still reveals he thinks catching Hijab off guard is possible. Yeah, absolutely. Money, money, money must be funny in the Dawa world. Ha, ha, ha. So Malik was right. David is separated, but they live together. What the heck was he saying? I don't even know.
Yeah. I don't know what this is in reference to, but yeah, Malik was saying I'm actually divorced and stuff like that.
Okay.
So you're a real estate tycoon. I'm actually a Mexican named David Sagara, and I'm divorced and so on.
And I have an extensive criminal record as a kingpin, apparently. Yeah, that's right. I'm the criminal mastermind. I no one can fart without my permission now. Okay. Hey guys, David, why does Bought by Blood give me Nabil? Guys, David, why does Bought by Blood give me Nabil vibes? He looks similar. God bless you for fighting a good fight. Going to Apologeticon in June. See you then.
Nabil Qureshi?
Quresh? Yeah. You don't look like him. I don't think you do.
You do look a little like him.
Oh well, I've never gotten that.
You do. You have a. Yep, you do your hair similarly to Nabil at certain times. Your facial hair is pretty similar to Nabil at certain times. So yeah, I get it. He's correct.
Mo Hijab was a victim of Mohammedicide. Very Islamophobic of me, but it is true. Question to Than: who's worse, Diddy or Epstein? Epstein.
Yeah, I don't really know too much about Diddy, so I'm just gonna say Epstein.
Have you seen Mr. Beast Red Button versus Blue Button Moral Dilemma? If so, what is the proper Christian response? Keep seeing competing views. I don't know. We'll take a look. I've not seen it. I don't watch Mr. Beast videos, so I don't know.
Yeah, I saw it. He said, all right, everyone has to push red button or blue button. If over half the people who push a button push the blue button, everyone survives. But if more people push the red button, only people who pushed the red button survive. What do you do? And so the blue button won by a little. In other words, the idea is if you push blue button, but more people push red button, you're dead. Right. Whereas if you push red button, then you're going to survive either way. And so you actually end up with a kind of a close percentage of people saying they push the red button, meaning tons of people would die, but they would be guaranteed to live.
It's pretty messed up. As a Catholic, I never was interested in Islam until recently I came across David Wood debate with Robert Spencer. Is Islam really that easily refuted? Is it because it didn't get into Illuminism moment? I don't know what that was referring to, but yeah, it is that easy to debunk Islam. Just watching those two go at it. Yeah. Every time Hijab goes live with his Q&A, a top apologist should join and embarrass him. Well, no, it's not going to happen. Now we know he's just going to run every time. He's just going to run.
Yeah, but you just saw what happened, right? He's going to run from names he recognizes and stuff. So we need more people like John here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You guys watching, you learn this stuff, you go join that and use it against him, and then you be IP. He use the arguments we present here, and he'll get tripped up. That's what he's worried. You can
look,
the arguments we give.
A lot of you guys, like in our Discord server, you have TikToks and you share some of your stuff, and like Hijab's not gonna know who you are. So seriously, like just if you want to do it,
learn an argument and learn it well. Learn an argument and learn it well, and then call in and use the argument.
Do it.
Yep.
Do it. That's what you guys got to do. He's going to run from me. So you be my ambassadors.
And then after you guys make the point in the live stream, make sure it's recorded, and then we review it and point out how hijab got crushed.
Exactly.
Yep, and also support smaller apologists as well, like the people I mentioned at the beginning of the stream. Support smaller apologists, because the more notoriety they get, and these people are deadly. Okay, I'm telling you, they're deadly. There are some crazy.
They are silent but deadly.
Yeah. They're over there. They're making waves on TikTok and places like that. Go follow those people. Support those smaller apologists, because the bigger we make them, the more Dawa dies.
Yes. Did AP lose weight? No. Of course, AP doesn't like to do that. Y'all put some respect on Little John Aluminum. That's true. Little John Aluminum over there. Listen, Little John is a rapper. You gotta own this, man.
What?
Hijab, he ran.
Hey, we got Mike Jones. We got Mike Jones and Little John on the same show, man.
It's true, we do. Hijab, he ran. One who ran from God and failed. Nothing drives fear into the heart of the kuffar like the powerful name of Little John Aluminum. This is the proof. That's true. Mike, you are running. That's right. Especially after Than lost, you see. Yes, this is the proof. Mohammed Hijab because he's jogging away. Yes. I like Hijab, I think. I like Hijab a little better, though. Hey, P, can you go live a little later? I'm busy right now. No, of course not. You can just watch this later, weirdo. Can we get a cameo from IP's Dawa teacher skit character in David Wood's new Islamicize Me whenever it happens? You don't see how? Oh, yeah. When you want to do that, I'll do that. I'll be shake it off, and I can do a chart thing for you.
Could you do one for me to this argument? Can I request that of you?
If you write the script, yeah, we can do it. Yeah, it's got to be under 2 minutes.
I can make that for you really easy, Mike.
It's got to be under 2 minutes. You know, I don't want to keep it.
No, it can be. I already know what to do. Don't worry.
All right. The online Dawa fans sound akin to the Candace Owens. Yeah, the mommy slews. Yep. Been watching a lot of Anthony Rogers, learning about the Trinity to try to evangelize a Jewish woman I know. Please pray for me and her. We will absolutely get to work. You got a lot of evangelizing to do. Tiny Tin John saw this Mohammed Hijab live stream 2 days ago before you showed up. Mohammed Hijab was ridiculing and saying some nasty things regarding God Logic's wife. Yeah, well, that's because they were so desperate for how bad they looked when he ran for me. They just tried to use that as a distraction.
Yep.
Pretty freaking obvious. Thank you, Pastor Tony, a loyal follower of the channel, for gifting 10 Inspiring Philosophy memberships. Mohammed Hijab, Momo after Haf's Warsh. How? Time travel. Very powerful. Thank you so much, Randy, another loyal member. On my next migration, I'll be sure to visit the UK and order a McMuta with extra muta, since Mojab will probably be working the drive-thru. Well, he's got a lot of money to make since he's bankrupt. I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to make it with these live streams.
No, I'm wondering how much longer they're going to go on, honestly. Best book refuting universalism. It is a heresy, or is it a heresy or heterodox? Dad's a major universalist and uses 1 Corinthians 15:22 to support it. Doesn't believe in hell. Also, check out Chris Date stuff on that. I think he's done some stuff on that. Chris Date. Y'all behave like in Revelations 19:15. Sharp sword and rod of iron. Keep it up. God bless. Thank you so much, sir. Dawa audiences have pushed me further and further into accepting Dietrich Bonhoeffer's theory of stupidity. It's worse than that. I guarantee you that. That's when you ask them, what one of the third power is. This was probably in reference to something earlier. Little John Aluminum is Flippiano's daddy confirmed. Yes, it is. That's true. I frankly have no problem saying there are 3 gods in a sense. This is unacceptable for Muslims, but Christians shouldn't care. Yes, there's 1 God in a sense and 3 gods in another sense. So what?
So it just depends what you mean by the go ahead, John.
No, go ahead, Dan.
I was just going to say it all just depends on what you mean by the word gods in that sentence, right? So like Libiano, when he's asking Little Tin John, or whatever the nickname is now, I guess, right? When he's asking him that question, he's ambiguous on the term God, and he's just trying to get a clip. So if all you mean by the word God in this in this question is divine person, then the answer is yes. right? If what you mean by God is 3 complete different substances that we call God, well, the answer is no.
Yeah. Muslims like to play with language to get clips because they know their audience isn't going to go check the real facts of the conversation. This is just what we have to deal with. Just so everyone knows, the former rapper is a much shorter person. Thank you, White Trash Panda. Nice meeting you in Detroit. Serious question. What have you learned since getting into the polemic side against Islam? IP Dawood is the GOAT, by the way. IP distant second. Thank you. Well, I would say that we are distant seconds to God Logic right now, who is crushing it. But what have you learned since getting into the polemics? What I just stated. They don't care. They're not charitable with words. They will play fast and loose with what you say, twist things, change definitions mid-sentence. They're very sneaky and slimy in how they try to clip you and play with things. Like, they'll still go around saying that when I debated Libiano, I said that Matthew's circular, which I didn't actually say. That was a conditional on what he was saying. They'll say I said the Ottomans were Romans, and I didn't say that at all. Like, but they'll take things out of context because they're desperate to distract from how bad Libiano looked in that debate. So they think if they just are like, if they think if they just go, well, he said these 2 things, they'll convince Muslims not to watch it or assume that he already won. Instead of actually going and watching the debate, see that he didn't actually show Muhammad's in the Bible and he completely failed on Daniel 2. His only argument is really presenting. So, yeah, every time. Here's for Than. Dude's got to get enough credit. All right, someone's giving you credit. That's good.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
I thought Junior was dishonest and disingenuous. I'm seeing it more and more than these people are so terrible. I will pray that they give up their pride and learn some humility. Yeah, Junior is crashing out like crazy right now, considering that he said, I'm not doing this for money. And so they demonetize him. And he's like, no, give me back my money. I need it. Pretty messed up.
Yeah, that's another thing as well, is like in terms of the argument that you guys just saw, when we were saying, like, how do we present these? Any Muslim you encounter now, you can simply ask the question, hey, do you agree with Mohammed Hijab that you only have part of the Quran? Just ask that question. Ask that question. And people are going to be like, what? And then you can, reference them back to this video and the videos that are going to come of this. It's another tool in your belt, because
that's very important. That is a good conversation starter with Muslims. Do you agree with Mohammed Hijab that you only have part of the Quran?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, like Avery's debate with him went viral. But I mean, like, this is just as deadly, man. Like you did what Avery did just on another argument. It's wild, man. That's how easy it is to cook hijab. In YouTube search for a beautiful equation plus math global. Tell me if that's not proof of a trinity. Now factor out the number 1 and pay close attention to the meaning of each of the 3 letters. Well, I'm not sure what you're referring to. I'd have to look into that. Appreciate the super chat. Well, sadly, that means you have lost your knee privileges then, John. Maybe it's referring that Mohammed Hijab said after I'd left, I had to get on my knees and beg to come back in or something, because he was trying really hard to do damage control, maybe.
Yeah.
Great work, guys. Glad more people like John are jumping in and embarrassing their arguments. Yep, that's happening. They're making more enemies every step they make. David mentioned his son and said they leak his mother's number. A leak would imply you are separated. Sorry, was a bad joke. Very bad. Very rude of you, sir, but I'll allow it. Thank you for all you do. Thank you, Mr. Gabe. You explained earlier the problems with Isnad. In comparison, how are the early accounts of Christianity reliable? Yeah, because we don't use that as like our main go-to argument. We use historical aspects in the Gospels, like onomastic congruence, the presence of Semitisms, the historical reliable aspects. I mean, I got a great book here by Craig Blomberg, the historical reliability of John's Gospel. I'll try to find it. Here it is. Wait, should be right here.
Yeah. IP. The difference is when we examine the history of Christianity, we use the historical method. That's what we use to examine the history of Christianity. We use the historical method. Muslims came up with their own methodology, which again, in various ways, is the opposite of the historical method, which is why even Yasser Qadhi admits there isn't one academic There isn't one non-Muslim academic who takes the Muslim methodology seriously. Why? It's stupid compared to an actual academic method of historical investigation. So when you're talking about how are the early accounts of Christianity reliable, what are you talking about? Like, historians examine the origin of Christianity. Muslim scholars don't allow it.
Yeah. And like, if you go like through this book, he just goes chapter through verse through verse. John gets this right. John gets this right. John gets it. It's like building fact after fact after fact. There are so many. That's how we show the Gospels are reliable. Look at all the facts they're getting correct. Little Russia says, "Hi, I'm back." Well, pretty awesome of you. Appreciate it. A hijab is a piece of clothing that hides women from men and barely shows their face. Mohammed Hijab is a man who hides from men and barely shows his face. Coincidence? Nope. Hijab, the 6th grade wuss belt. Also, go Ducks. Weird you're rooting for duck lips, but okay. Is A times B times C equal to 1? Decent springboard for the Trinity. Yep. I mean, I get what you're saying. Yeah. Robin Hood and Little John walk through the forest. I'm glad you got that. I was gonna mess that up like crazy. It was a Manaphysio joke about him not asking God Logic for permission to fart. Yeah,
mafioso, man, mafioso.
Mafioso. I see. Mafia. Well, sadly, that means you've lost. Oh, okay. I see. You lost your knee privileges because you didn't ask God Logic to fart. You see. Yeah. Proud of you. So. All right, guys. Appreciate you coming. David, you're gonna be live. What, in like an hour or something?
Yeah, 7 p.m. with Robert Spencer.
The Spencernator, as we call him. Anyway,
yeah, I appreciate you. Appreciate you for having me. If there are people who want to follow, you can follow me on TikTok. I also specifically and deliberately, because I know this is gonna send people my way, kind of cleaned up my YouTube, so you can also follow me on YouTube. I have 3 debates that I'm gonna upload on there with multiple Muslims getting. They don't do well. I'll just say.
Where is this that we were just watching? Where's that at?
He took it down.
He took it down, man.
He immediately, when the stream was done.
I'm saying IP obviously has it because he was playing it. So I'm saying, where can I get it? Because I would like to make a video about the Quranic dilemma.
I will send it to you. I'll send you the video.
Because David, that works then. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
What?
Yeah, David, I have a video coming out tomorrow, but Jai and I are putting together a bunch of stuff. If you want some, we can talk off stream if you want about it.
Yeah, we can you, me, and Jai can get together on a Quranic dilemma live stream.
Yeah, I'm down.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent. Yeah, that'd be good. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff. But the short stories, according to Mohammed Hijab, you guys, you Muslims, you don't have the Quran. You only have part of it. Game over. I guess Allah did not preserve his word.
So much for being a guardian.
Jon Geary cooked Mohammed Hijab. That sounds nice to say. I'm just gonna say it. It sounds nice to say. So.
It wasn't on my 2026 bingo card, but you know what?
No, mine either. But I'm happy it happened. So, Fan looks like he's on meth, cocaine, heroin all at once. That's because he is. Look at him. He takes drinks like 8 Monster drinks a day. What do you want?
No, I'm getting sick.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Really enjoyed Than's podcast with Tim on the Inspiring Philosophy Academy channel about Bayesian epistemology. What's Mike's issue with it?
Mike just is scared of numbers. That's all.
I'm just thinking, here's what goes through my head when I see something like that. How can I explain this to a teenager? If I can't,
Mike,
let me finish talking. If I don't think I personally can, I just go, okay, I can't articulate this well. I'll let somebody else do it. That's what I do.
Yeah, fair enough. I literally taught high schoolers at a Christian school for a few years. And part of what I taught them was Bayesian epistemology.
Hey,
of course you did. Of course you did.
Many years ago, I posted a video breaking down Bayes' theorem for my kids who were like maybe 8 and 10 at the time, and they got it after a while.
This nerd had little kids. One day he sent me a book or he sent me a text of these little books he has for his kids. You remember that, Dan?
Oh yeah. No, I still read it to my kids. I literally have a book. It's Bayesian epistemology for babies.
It's not even like 8 and 9-year-olds. It's for babies. You're such a nerd. I love you though.
All right, guys. I'm gonna link Jon's YouTube in the video description below, and we will see you guys next time. You made it to the end of this video, which means this message matters to you. If you want to see more content like this reaching people for Christ, you can help make it happen. Your support makes these videos possible. Click the link below and donate today. And if you want to go even deeper, consider joining our Patreon community. You'll get early access to videos, behind-the-scenes content, and a place to connect with others passionate about this mission.